Yo, what's happening, y'all?
Happy game day.
Welcome to another Sunday stream. For all y'all that were with us or weren't with us last night, welcome. Yeah.
Good to see everybody in here.
Absolutely.
Happy Isaiah Pacheco Day, everybody.
It has become Isaiah Pacheco Day.
Yeah.
He's not in the thumbnail, but that's because I made the thumbnail yesterday to plan ahead. And then the DeAndre Swift not playing news came out, but he's the biggest head on the stupid thumbnail. And
that's our way of saying, don't start this guy.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, man, Isaiah Pacheco looks to be the starter.
So that was the overnight update. I didn't actually see the timestamp of when that information dropped. But according to Ian Rappaport, Isaiah Pacheco has been getting first-team reps in practice this week and is expected to draw the start today for the Chiefs against San Francisco. A lot of what has been made of this situation is that they're so happy with him as far as a blocker, as far as a pass blocking running back, and it's translating into them wanting to give him opportunities. And I think I have to, you feel free to check me on this, but he's averaging around 5 yards a touch. Small sample size, but a sample size nonetheless. Only 2 catches on the year. I think they both came in last week's game. So to this point, 0 receiving work, or next to 0 receiving work. But let's say the guy that he kind of starts siphoning snaps from is, say, McKinnon. I mean, you're looking at a guy with a 12 touch floor moving forward.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they want to mix him into Clyde Edwards-Helaire's opportunities as far as a route runner.
Well, Clyde Edwards, I wanted to speak a little bit about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He only has one game above where he has above 9 attempts on the ground, and he started off the year getting 3, 4, 5 targets a game in the first 3 games, and then it went 2, 4, 0. So, I mean, his passing down work is being phased out, and we've seen that come with a drop in fantasy production as soon as he stopped receiving work. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been playing 42, 43, 40, 44, and 39% of snaps in games. I don't think his role is really going to change. I think that the starter thing, yeah, he's not going to be the starter anymore. I still think he's going to get around 40% of snaps. But what's that amounted to is 9 attempts basically on the ground, and now no receiving work. So what's really CEH's ceiling?
RB3.
We saw him have a RB1 ceiling. Yeah, I think it's going to go down to RB3 last 2 games against tougher defenses, 5 points and 3 points. So now I think with this news, Isaiah Pacheco might really actually be the back to own in this backfield.
And we will see if we get any type of clarity on that today. This will be the first opportunity where we expect what could be what the Chiefs' backfield looks like moving forward. It could be a lot like their receivers, where none of them are worth having. And the only guy in this offense to truly want to start each and every week is Travis Kelce and Mahomes, of course.
Yeah, this might just be everybody gets a 33% snap share, and then nobody's really usable, and it's a dart throw as to who's reliable on a game-to-game basis.
Right. But we'll see if it plays out and see if there is a running back that is truly worth rostering. But Pacheco is absolutely worth an add. Depends on who, of course, is on your bench. But if he's on waivers still, it's worth it. It's worth the shot today. Personally, I mean, in a keeper league that is, essentially a redraft league, I dropped Madison for him. And, Alexander Madison's one of those types of pieces where you don't really want to drop. But on bye, he's on a bye week this week. So, you might be able to scoop him back up for like somewhat cheap, especially now that Dalvin Cook has no injury designation a couple weeks running now, maybe. But Pacheco is actually going to play today. And coming off of this news, you might as well be the early bird, not the late one. So
and in games where he has more than 3 rushing attempts, there's 2 games where Isaiah Pacheco has more than 3 rushing attempts. He has 11 and 12, which means he has more games where he has more than 10 attempts on the ground than CEH on the year, and that's with minimal work. That's on 23% of snaps and 21% of snaps in week 1 and week 4. And in those weeks, one of those weeks he scored a touchdown, and both of those weeks he has more than 5 yards per carry. So, Pacheco is a play today. Pacheco is a play today.
Now, real quick, some questions at the bottom of the chat. Don't drop somebody like A.J. Dillon. Don't drop him.
No.
And I honestly, I would continue to stash Rachaad White over Pacheco. I know Rachaad White's league ownership is low in Yahoo leagues. It's probably similar in ESPN leagues.
Well, I'm hoping to try to have both. Who's another player that you can drop, Andre?
Right.
We'll get to these questions up at the top, but just list who's on your bench, and we'll help you make that decision. But I kind of want both of them.
I want both, but I'm not dropping a player like A.J. Dillon. No, don't do that. It has to be somebody further down your bench.
Yep.
So just wanted to get to that quickly for anybody who might be trickling in if Pacheco is still available to grab. And
just another piece of news, DeAndre Swift is not playing. So if anybody had Amon-Ra questions yesterday, throw them in the chat again today, and we'll reevaluate with that news in mind, because no DeAndre Swift, no DJ Chark means it's going to be an Amon-Ra game.
And Jamal Williams has to be fired up.
Yep.
Jamal Williams has to be fired up. Like, over Pacheco. If it's Jamal Williams or Pacheco,
it's
Jamal Williams.
Yep. 2 touchdown upside.
Actually, it was Jamal Williams with DeAndre Swift in. But anyway. And that's not a knock on Pacheco. It's just like, I'm not starting Pacheco today unless I'm desperate. But I absolutely want him on my bench.
And I'm super intrigued to see what happens today. But that's almost where I leave it. But I also think that he does have mid-tier RB2 upside this week.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go there yet.
Upside.
Let's see if we get
upside. I'm not saying that's what he is, but upside, because he's shown that in the games where he has more than 3 carries. Yeah. He has RB2 upside.
Are you starting him over A.J. Dillon?
No.
Just his name came up in the chat. Okay, no. I'm not either.
Nope.
There you go.
But let's get to this chat. What's going on, Sad J, Sotober, Rojo, Tim Shields?
What's up, everybody?
Good to see y'all. Let's start at the top here. Sad J, good morning to you too. You tried to ship Aaron Jones to the Amon-Ra St. Brown owner, and he countered with Mike Williams for Aaron Jones. Would you take that trade?
I just did that trade yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, well, actually, I sent Mike Williams and received Aaron Jones. I just did that trade yesterday. So I like both sides depending on your needs. In this situation, I needed a running back. I'm good at wide receiver, so I traded Mike Williams for Aaron Jones. If you are good at running back and could use a receiver, then sure. I'm also fine with like the opposite of this deal. Like it's one of those situations where it's like, if I were on either end and absolutely needed the piece that I was getting in this trade more than the piece I'm giving up, respective to the depth at those positions, I'm fine either way with this move. So if you need receiver help, then sure.
The way I see it is Aaron Jones really has nowhere to go but up from where he is right now.
Absolutely.
Mike Williams is the wide receiver 18, and Keenan Allen is coming back at some point very soon.
Yes, potentially as soon as today.
Right. So, I personally think I want the Aaron Jones side of this.
Okay. I mean, I know Mike Williams has big play upside, and that's why I'm willing to continue to roll the dice on him. But yes, targets are going to get taken away here and there. I would contend, though, that maybe this is going to, like, Keenan Allen's return potentially impacts Eckler a little more than it impacts Mike Williams. But it impacts everybody to some extent.
True.
So, yeah, I mean, I am kind of stingy on giving up running backs. If I can acquire them, great. Once I have them, it's like vice grip.
That's kind of where I'm at. I think I unless you are in the position where you have a surplus of running backs and your wide receivers are really hurting, I think I want to keep the running back. But it is very situational. So it depends on it depends how your roster is looking, Sajay.
Yeah. And who would you be? He posted. Okay, for all of those names, I'm not adding Alec Pierce or Wan'Dale Robinson. Just hold what you have. And
yeah, I'm looking at you got a ton of running backs. So trading away Aaron Jones because you have JT, Kenneth Walker, ETN, Jamal Williams, Ramondre, Damian Harris in standard.
And your receivers are Gabe and Amari.
I'm fine making that deal in that situation. But that's a very specific situation where I'm okay with that.
There you go.
And picking up Alec Pierce or Wan'Dale.
If those are your options as far as names to drop, then no.
Yeah, I would agree. But you got to have more wide receivers than just the two.
So Tober dropped Foreman for Pacheco. I think that's fine. I do. I mean, either one is a roll of the dice. Foreman's got his opportunity today. Well, apparently so does Pacheco. But Pacheco's got more competition and
better offense versus worse offense. I mean, Edge might just go to the guy in the better offense, even though Donta Foreman would probably see more work on a play-to-play basis.
Sure, but Pacheco's fine to swap. To grab instead of Foreman.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes. And Tim Shields was going on. Rojo was going on. But, Rojo, we'd agree, except in his situation. Mm-hmm. In his situation, we're cool with it. Harrison Giordano, what's happening? Ayuk or Boyd?
Ayuk.
That's close, but I think it's Ayuk too.
I mean, they're going against the Chiefs.
And we saw Ayuk have 2 touchdown upside, not very far. I mean, just last week.
We're not banking on that again. But, I mean...
No, but we just haven't seen 2 touchdown upside from Boyd this year.
No, Boyd, I mean, you could argue that both are in situations where they're kind of blocked from more opportunities. Boyd has Chase and Higgins. Ayuk has Debo and now Christian McCaffrey and Kittle to contend with, but this is the Kansas City Chiefs we're talking about as far as an opponent. San Francisco's going to have to keep pace if they want to take this game seriously.
Yep.
And McCaffrey's usage is expected to be potentially sporadic. So Ayuk.
Yep. I would go Ayuk too. And Joe Juice with the iconic Jordan jersey in the picture. I like that. You missed out on Pacheco by a minute.
Pacheco.
That's tough.
Look, if you, as long as you have other lottery tickets and on your bench, it's gonna be a roll of the dice as to like who actually ends up firing and
who the person dropped for him. Maybe somebody dropped somebody like Nick dropped McKinnon. Maybe somebody dropped somebody of value where it's not so much of a hit.
I dropped Madison.
Madison. Sorry.
Yeah, and so like he's gonna be worth it for somebody else to pick up. That was just like the expense I was willing to make to grab Pacheco and just see, right? Because he's got his opportunity now. But that could mean, that whoever got him, whoever dropped, or whoever he dropped him for, could be of value for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And Rojo, I think that's all right.
I'm starting
in your
Pacheco
deep 12-man dynasty league. I think that's all right.
I'm in a dynasty league where I am at the bottom right now, but I just acquired him for cheap like 2 weeks ago
For a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, he's in my lineup. That's looking like that one looks like it's aging well. So, kind of happy about that one.
And so, Tober, you're starting Jamal Williams this week,
yeah,
especially.
Yeah. Yep.
And we already got to Waymo's question.
Yep, got to the questions about like what to do with Pacheco. There's a cutoff, and I know Dylan feels like he hasn't hit it as far as production, but he clears. Like you're holding a guy like that.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned earlier, if I can get both Pacheco and Rashad White,
then I want both. Both.
And I mean, so Brian Robinson. I mean, what are you doing with? Waymo brings Brian Robinson up. You're not dropping Kirk. I know he's been very quiet the past couple weeks, but he's still his team's wide receiver 1. Robinson's role, we think we know what it is on a not good offense, but we feel good that Robinson is the 1A. Are you dropping Brian Robinson to add Pacheco? I don't know if I can bring myself to do that.
I don't know if I can bring myself to do that either. I'm kind of looking at that like, hey, how active are the people in your league? Are they up right now? Can you text one of them and see if you can you drop like a kicker? Work on a trade within the next 2 hours, package 2 for 1, and then pick up a kicker before kickoff, or pick up a kicker before the 4 o'clock games that you can just pick up off the waiver wire or something like that. And then you upgraded, you have Pacheco, and you're not in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if it has to be a choice right now, I think I'm keeping Brian Robinson. Tim Shields, I really like Benjamin going forward. Is James Conner on IR?
No, he's not on IR.
Because I saw somebody last night had him in their IR spot, but you can put out people in IR too in certain situations.
Yeah.
But I like Benjamin going forward. He's the new Chase Edmonds, like we always thought he was going to be. And
he just needed some seasoning. He just needed some time to develop. As a 7th round pick.
Yep. And James Conner is is perennially injured at some point in the year, and he's there already. And there's no guarantee he gets back to full strength. So I like Benjamin going forward.
Agreed.
Andre, CMC, or Ramondre Stevenson,
Andre,
half PPR, CMC, man.
You're playing Christian McCaffrey, even if it's even if he's his projections are lowered, right? The number that he's projected to score is down. He's expected to be used situationally today. You could be looking at a floor as far as his touches. You're starting Christian McCaffrey. You have to take that chance that he's in red zone packages and he scores 2 touchdowns.
This might be different if Ramondre didn't have Damian Harris to contend with this week, but he does.
It might be different, but he does, and therefore the call for me is, Ramondre might get more work, but this is the first overall pick in a lot of drafts, or the second overall pick in a lot of drafts we're talking about. When he's on the field and doesn't have an injury designation, you fire him up.
And even on a bad team, he was the RB4 on the year. So, fire him up. Fire him up.
Right. He could fire today on 8 touches.
Uncle Stunkus, I'm absolutely starting Michael Gallup over Cortland Sutton this week. This week, I'm there.
You might as well. Gallup gets Dak back. They're in the Dome. No weather concerns, right, in Dallas. And it's a pretty good matchup against the Detroit Lions. Sutton is going to be contending with Sauce Gardner, who already looks like one of the really good up-and-coming young cornerbacks in today's game.
And not just that, but that whole Jets defense looks to be a lot better than advertised coming into the year.
They look solid, and it is a road game. We have to remember Denver is at home. That is an equalizer with teams where it's like you're still unsure about as far as are they contenders or not. So tough place to play for the Jets. I think historically they've not been good there. I do think that is a narrative that is worth paying attention to. But Cortland Sutton's dealing with a backup quarterback. I did see that the weather might be a little, there might be some snow in Denver this weekend. So that could be something to contend with. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine to pivot to Gallup, especially if you feel like your matchup is, if you're feeling unsure about it. If you feel like you've already got the win in hand, like maybe you're going up against just an inferior team, then maybe I just keep Sutton in there. But anything else, that's fine. Go Gallup.
Yep. And Anthony Ramos, full PPR flex, 12-team league. Pickens, AJ Dillon, or Pitts?
Pickens is an upside ceiling play. Dillon is a floor play. Pitts,
I'm not playing him in the flex. I don't know.
Who, Pitts?
The upside has eluded him all season, and it's not getting any better in that offense right now.
Sure.
So yeah, Pickens upside, Dillon floor.
Pickens if you need a ceiling play, Dillon if you think you can get by with a floor play.
Rogers Green, start ETN or Damian Harris? I'm starting ETN.
ETN. He continues to make good use of his touches.
And he's the 1A versus Damian Harris. I think at this point, he's the 1B.
Harris could be the 1B, yeah.
I think he is. I think he was showing that, or he was basically there already by week 4.
Has been showing out. Yep.
Dan and Andrade, Najee Harris or Jamal Williams. Call me crazy. I'm going Jamal Williams this week, man.
Jamal, Najee on the road. This is not a great matchup as far as the situation. Dolphins, the proof is in the pudding. They play, especially their defense, they play better at home. Steelers are coming off a big win against Tampa Bay, an unexpected win. But Miami's getting Tua back. I know they feel like they have a good team this year. They're coming in to compete, or they're coming in to prove that Sunday night prime time. I think this is a tough spot for the Steelers offense. Give me Jamal with no DeAndre Swift in the mix.
Yeah, I'm there too. And Fabian is just here so we don't get fined. Hey, man, I hope you're riding around a football field somewhere in a golf cart wilding out.
I just want
Marshawn too. Go get some Skittles.
I would love some Skittles, like a little morning wake up. Yeah. All right. Noted.
And SBD, what do you think? I traded away Russ, Mike Evans, Ramondre Stevenson, and Jacoby Myers for Jalen Hurts, Pittman, and Mostert.
Okay. If you have crazy running back depth, I mean, Evans for Pittman, swap for swap, that's fine. That's like even. Moving from Hurts to Russ, that's astronomical.
Huge upgrade. And to do that, you have to give up somebody like Stevenson.
And
you're selling high because Harris is now back, and there was 2 weeks of Stevenson to the moon, and now he should fall back down to earth just a little bit. 10 Myers for Mostert just to rebolster your running back depth because you're giving up Stevenson. I think that's fine, man.
I like this trade.
Yep.
SBD, I like what you did here. Getting Hurts is a significant win.
And Andre, this is kind of a difficult question, Pacheco or Gus Edwards, because I was rethinking about Gus Edwards over the.
I don't think it's hard. I think it's Pacheco. But go ahead, finish your thought.
I was just rethinking Gus Edwards after we went off the live stream, and we don't know what's happening with J.K. Dobbins. We hope that timetable is set. We don't know. I haven't been a huge fan of Justice Hill, and who knows what the viability of Kenyon Drake is. They waited a considerable amount of time for Gus Edwards to get healthy, and now he is. They didn't do that with J.K. Dobbins. They kind of rushed him back, and now we saw what happened. Mm-hmm. And this team is one of the premier running teams in the NFL, and they like this guy. So, I mean, offense to offense, yeah, edge KC, but it's a lot closer than, Pacheco, Donta Foreman, which we got earlier. And Gus Edwards should see about 50% of the work moving forward, and could work himself into probably a little bit more. I don't know if Pacheco gets there to 50% of the work, because even the starter through 6 games was getting around 42 to 45% of the work in CEH. it's pretty close for me. And again, we're talking about a 3-headed committee versus a 3-headed committee at this point.
So you want the
Pacheco? No, it's just it. I don't know.
So this.
I think I'm Can you? I think I want both, and I'm dropping like Kate Otten or Isaiah McKenzie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine too. If those are, yeah. Otten is fine as a drop. McKenzie's fine as a drop. Yeah.
I think I want both, Andre.
Right, hang on to both. There you go.
And NSB, both of my running backs are out this week. Bad luck. Start one PPR: Drake, Isaiah Pacheco, or Latavius Murray. I'm starting Drake in a league that I'm
Baltimore
in.
Against Cleveland, yeah.
I think I'm starting Drake out of those
Browns
options.
Browns were giving up lots of points.
I'm starting Drake over Tony Pollard in a league.
Okay, there you go.
So I think I'm going Kenyon Drake.
Pacheco, we need to see how this plays out. Murray, I just don't trust this Broncos backfield and anything that comes out of Nathaniel Hackett's mouth.
Yeah.
I got to see that one more time. And it's not a good matchup. The Jets are, I think, allowing less than 4 yards of carry on defense. So.
Yep. And got a defense question from Fabian. Jags or Raiders defense better than the Ravens this week?
You can just fire up the Ravens at
I think
home
I'm rolling with the Ravens.
In a division game. I know it's a tough matchup by the numbers with Jacoby Brissett, but he's not, immune to making mistakes.
And I know you're looking at the matchups against the Jags versus Giants, Raiders versus Texans, and that looks enticing. But the Ravens have been
Baltimore.
What?
I would just stick with Baltimore.
Yeah, they've been the top 12 defense, and they haven't given you any dud weeks. So I think I'm just rolling with the Ravens again.
Yeah.
And George Cook, you traded Miles Sanders and McKenzie for Mike Evans. Good job.
Nice.
Good job.
That's nicely done. With your running back depth there, I know Swift is out today, but you still have 3 really good options to yeah. Well done, George. I don't have anything else to say there. That's nicely done. Very nicely done.
Yep. And Terry or Kirk today? Kirk. Heineke likes throwing it to Terry. Terry has not been good this year, and last year he was a wide receiver 3 with Heineke.
Terry's been a floor play. I wouldn't say he's been bad. He's had a couple.
For a projected number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah,
for
he hasn't met expectations.
He's been bad. He's
the
wide receiver 32 on the year after being basically a wide receiver 3 last year.
I mean, Kirk has not done a ton the past 3 weeks, and this is actually by the numbers. The Giants are giving up the fewest points to wide receivers right now. So it's not a good matchup.
But I'm playing the current wide receiver 13 over the current wide receiver 32. That's with a significantly with a significant quarterback downgrade, no less, for Terry.
Terry's the upside play here. Kirk is the floor play. Eric, if you think you need some upside, I am going to vouch for Terry just because I expect him to be peppered with targets. They might not be high quality. Jair Alexander's on him. I know he hasn't exactly fired this year the way that we're hoping. But if you think you need upside, I would play Terry. If you think you can play it on the safer side, I'm fine with Kirk. But for the past 3 weeks, neither of them have been very good, to be completely fair to both. And it's a tough matchup by the numbers for both. So edge to the talent for me there, and that's Terry.
I'm not there. I'm again going the current wide receiver 13 over the current wide receiver 32.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
With considering Terry as a quarterback downgrade at this point, because even though with how bad Carson Wentz has been playing, going from Carson Wentz to Heineke is somewhat of a downgrade.
It's a downgrade for the offense. It might not be a downgrade for Terry because he hyper-targeted him last year. That's all.
So we're split, Eric, on that. Hopefully us talking through it helped you out.
Yeah.
But we are split there. And that is just going to happen sometimes because we're not in lockstep on everything fantasy related.
Nah.
What fun would that be?
Robotic.
Rojo. Pacheco is playing San Fran, best run D in the league.
Yeah, proceed with caution today. Proceed with caution.
Yeah, I see your point. Point.
Yeah, you have to hope he falls into the end zone. And I think Nick Bosa is active for them. I think he's in, so yeah, makes it a tougher matchup.
Yep. Freiermuth or Hayden Hurst? Eric, we got this question last night. I went Freiermuth and Nick went Hurst. So
yeah.
we're split on your questions, and we are not helping you out thus far. But Freiermuth's the current, I think, tight end 8, and Hurst isn't, and that's again where I'm. And it should be somewhat of a shootout in Pittsburgh. So those are my points. Nick, what's your case for Hayden Hurst?
He's been playing well, and this is another revenge game for him. Like, they're playing against Atlanta.
You love your revenge games.
The revenge game narrative is real. And he's playing one today. So I like that.
Fair.
And Hurst has been good. This is not like he's not a dart throw.
No.
Yeah.
No, Hurst has been good. It's just Freiermuth has been better.
Yeah.
And plays in an offense where I think they might need him a little more.
They might need him. Hurst plays if you like the offense narrative, Hurst plays with the much better quarterback. So
yeah, but he's the fourth in the pecking order. But regardless, we're split there, Eric.
We're split.
Sorry to give you another split, but that is what it is. Sebastian, ETN, Bateman, Jamal Williams, Myers, pick 2, please. Jamal Williams and ETN, because I don't know if Bateman's playing.
Bateman's giving it a shot. He's got a chance to play, but give me the running backs in that situation.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. ETN Williams. So.
And Rojo, sure. Yeah. If
Right.
you believe in the talent, if he underperforms, go out and trade for him. Buy low.
Right. And hold if he doesn't fire this week. I would, depending on his usage, if he gets 10 touches, if he does nothing with them, it's easy. You hold.
Rogers Green helping out. Thank you, much appreciated. Crumpy Heads, good morning.
I wouldn't play Myers over ETN.
No, I wouldn't either. Even though he does have 20-point upside, he's shown it twice this year, and he gets his quarterback back. I'm still going ETN.
Yeah.
Safer floor and similar upside.
Yeah.
Crumply Heads, good morning. TX416, Jeff Wilson or MG3. That's a rough situation, but I think I'm going Jeff Wilson.
For just this week, I'm going Wilson. If this might be the last week where Wilson is viable, and then he's probably a drop as McCaffrey starts to take over this backfield. Gordon is more of a hold, just because it's let's screw around and just see what this backfield looks like. We think he's going to start. We think he's going to get work. We don't know, and we can't trust it. So you can rock with Wilson for just this week. And then moving forward, let's see what the situation is that unfolds for Melvin Gordon. If it's a similar development as last week, then both of these guys are drops after this week. Therefore, I'll give you, Wilson viability one more week.
Yep. And Rojo, sure. Yep.
Right. You can absolutely go the other way if you can get a first-round pick for Isaiah Pacheco.
Stay fluid with it. Crumply Heads. Yep. Williams. Let us know which Williams. Henry, Barkley, Walker, Pierce, pick 2.
It's Henry. It's Barkley.
Henry and Barkley. Yeah.
You have no choice.
Henry
you
and
have
Barkley.
Some good options, but it's no choice. Henry.
I guess
and Barkley.
that is Jamal Williams then, since they're all running backs. But still, Henry and Barkley.
It's Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. Yeah, you got to do it.
Top 5 options weekly.
Yep.
Roll with them.
Yep.
Roll with them. And who are you playing in your flex then?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking out of Walker, Pearson, Williams, who are you playing in the flex then?
Oh, I assume there's no flex option because
Crumply Heads, let us know.
It wasn't presented. I don't know if it's like a stud wide receiver or what.
True. Finn Strom, Evans or Jalen Waddle, PPR.
Can't play both. What's the rest of your situation, Finn Strom? Let us know. What does your roster look like? We'll come back to this. These are two.
I want to play both, but but Waddle's had the better year and gets his quarterback.
I mean,
back.
yeah, play Waddle if you have to make a decision, but this is Mike Evans we're talking about.
Yeah, I want to play him too.
Right.
Yeah. And Rojo Fish, I'd rather play Jimmy G.
Just play Jimmy. I mean, they're playing the Chiefs, so it's already a good matchup, and he gets at the very least today, another weapon in the red zone in McCaffrey. I mean, Jimmy's looking a little viable as a streamer moving forward in this offense, and he doesn't have to do that much.
Look at his skill position players.
Yeah,
man.
look at this offense now.
He can really be just a distributor of the football. He doesn't have to make any big plays.
No, he just has to throw it for 5 yards and let everybody in this offense, these yak monsters in McCaffrey and Debo, just do the rest.
And 1 to 2 times a game deep onto Ayuk, which he'll probably land one of them.
Yeah. Kittle had 8 for 83 last week, so he came back to life a little bit. I mean, yeah, Jimmy G's looking like a rest of season stream and a very strong option in Superflex leagues.
Yep.
So, yeah.
TX,
Kenny,
you got to be kidding me with
now.
that question, man. It's CMC.
Yeah, you're playing McCaffrey.
Yeah.
You're playing McCaffrey.
Yep.
Yeah. No. If there are any McCaffrey or questions, it's Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
Blanket statement.
Tim Shields, I would start Bellinger.
Yeah, fire up Bellinger. Screw it. He's involved. He's probably one of the only mainstays you can rely on in this offense right now. And it's a tough matchup by the numbers for wide receivers. So, yeah, sure, Bellinger.
Yep. And Fabian, Nick was making the point yesterday. I don't know if it was more of a joke or not, but he was saying that it's a quarterback upgrade going from Russell Wilson to Brett Rippon. I'm not there.
It could be.
I'm not there. Now, Russ certainly hasn't looked good, but I think Brett Rippon's ceiling is what Russell Wilson's floor has been, which is what we've seen. But, I mean, Russell Wilson does have a 27-point week in there. Brett Rippon doesn't have that in his range of outcomes. I just don't see it with Rippon.
All right, it's an upgrade for the receivers.
All right, whatever. Eric, hopefully we can actually help you out with this one. In a 12-team full PPR, you're starting Trevor Lawrence, Eckler, Mostert, Pittman, Amon-Ra, Terry, Freiermuth, and Daniel Carson. You got Gabe Davis, Kirk, and Russell Wilson on your bench.
You can drop Russell Wilson. Just for anything. Anything. You
for
can
Pacheco,
drop for anything.
You got Trevor Lawrence.
If Chuba Hubbard.
If it's a 1 QB league, you only need to roster
drop
one
Russell
QB.
Wilson. Drop Russell Wilson.
There's a chance now. The reports are that his hammy strain is going to keep him out for multiple weeks. He's droppable.
Even if he comes back healthy and plays next week, he's a drop. He stinks. I think you're fine with what you have.
Would you go Terry or
you would go Kirk over Terry?
I
think it's fine. I think it's fine as an upside play, especially because he's his wide receiver 3.
Fair.
I'm fine with it.
We're still split there. But
fine.
it's a solid roster. Drop Russell Wilson for anything. Crumply heads. Aaron Jones, Brandon Cooks, or Isaiah Pacheco in the flex.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones. No question.
Not Wandale.
No.
Aaron Jones. It's a tier
Aaron
break.
Jones.
Talent tier break.
No question.
If it's PPR, I might entertain Brandon Cooks, but Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Texans up against the Raiders. They're going to have to air it out. There is a narrative to follow there. But Aaron Jones. Rojo Fish, Huntley or Algier? Who's the better Falcons running back moving forward?
I think it's Algier just because he's the one who's getting the most snaps. But and I know that this is what the expectations are here relative to the question. So
yeah, I'm not expecting much, but Algier.
Yeah, I'll say Algier just because he's getting, I think, around 55 to 60% of the snaps. So Algier. We have a super.
Oh, snap.
Mr.
Crowler, thank you very much.
Mr. Crowler.
Herbert. And then
over Dak. Yeah,
Jamal Williams. Yeah. And I'm not there with DJ Moore yet.
I mean,
because CMC opens up some target opportunities, and they did just let go of Robbie Anderson a week ago. So there are targets galore to go around. With PJ Walker, it's not going to be good, but one more week and we should get a somewhat of an upgrade in Sam Darnold. So DJ Moore is not, I'm not dropping him yet. Because in a small sample size with Sam Darnold last year, DJ Moore was the wide receiver 4. Are we expecting that? No, but there was a 4-game stretch where DJ Moore was elite with Darnold. So I think he can at least regain wide receiver 2 value. You just have to be patient.
The question you have to ask yourself first is, who are you picking up, right? Like, and in a you know, this is a hypothetical, but like, who is available? And then it's like, am I really gonna drop DJ Moore for this guy? Right? You know, so I'm not there with dropping DJ Moore, but like, just as a, you know, play the game. Am I do I drop DJ Moore for Gus Edwards? No. Right? Do I drop him for Donta Foreman? No.
Yeah.
You know, Wan'Dale Robinson? No. We're talking about a very, you know, it's awful right now.
But he has 3 straight years of 1,000-yard seasons
player.
with 4 touchdowns in each season, and that was honestly with the quarterbacks he was dealing with. Floor from what we should see from DJ Moore. This year, it's not going to get much better than 4 touchdowns on the year, but talent tier break.
Yeah,
because DJ Moore is
he's
legit.
talented.
We haven't seen it because that offense is terrible, but it should get a little better in the coming weeks.
We'll see, but yeah, you hold for at least another few weeks.
But go with Herbert, go with Jamal Williams, and good luck. Thank you very much for the super.
Is that for Jamal Williams? He said for Jamal right below. Does that mean you have to drop DJ Moore to get Jamal Williams? If that's the case, then yes.
Wait, what?
He said right below.
For Jamal, you got Pollard. Who else can you drop?
Yeah.
Like, is your team that deep where you're dropping a low end RB2 and Pollard to pick up a spot start RB1?
Right.
Throw your roster. Throw your bench in the chat. And we can talk a little bit more about it.
Yep.
Because I want both. That's a situation where I want all 3 of those.
Yep.
Guys on my team.
But thanks for the super.
Absolutely, man.
Moving back up, Andre's got a question: Hayden Hurst or K-Dot? And go with Hayden Hurst.
Yes.
He feels like a more reliable option.
And Crumply Heads, Swift is not playing today, so it's
Swift
Jamal
is out.
Williams wheels up.
Yep.
And Greg Charinkin, good to see you. PPR Flex, Pollard, Pickens, Judy, Dubs. Pickens upside play and Pollard floor
play. Dubs is a floor play too.
And PPR, maybe it's Pickens, Dubs. Pickens ceiling, Dubs floor.
Pickens is a ceiling play. Dubs is a floor play. Pollard is Pollard's also a floor play, but he's got an Ezekiel Elliott problem. Pickens for upside. Dubs if you think you can get away with a safe play. Yep.
And Gabe, the answer is McCaffrey. To everybody out there, the answer is McCaffrey.
The answer is always McCaffrey. Yep.
Anthony Ramos, start 2, full PPR. Hines, Sutton, Pacheco, Reynolds.
Reynolds and Sutton?
Yeah.
Reynolds has been playing well.
Full PPR, Reynolds and Sutton. And I would expect Reynolds to have a better day than Sutton. Crazy. But, I'm starting those 2 in full
unfair.
PPR.
Yeah.
Reynolds and Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Fallon, Cincinnati defense or Denver defense today? Cincinnati gets Falcons and
Denver's playing well as a unit. I think I would go with Denver.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Broncos.
Playing against the Jets. Yeah, I mean, that offense hasn't been good. The Jets' offense hasn't been good.
It's been, outside of Breece Hall's been spectacular, but on the road, this is a tougher matchup. And yeah, they're not throwing the ball at an elite level, so to for to put it nicely. I'll go with the Broncos just because they're they're just a good defense, and they're at home. Cincinnati's at home as well, but Atlanta's playing better on offense. Actually, they're sticking to their game plan, and it's working.
Yep. Tyson Martinez. I'd go Duvernay, man. I'm not trusting Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
There's no way I can trust Sammy Watkins. I'm going Duvernay.
Yeah, I'll go Duvernay.
It might not be pretty, and Watkins, you know, he'll get 3 touchdowns and get injured. But I'm not there. Not there with Watkins.
Nah.
And yeah, Joe Juice Jordan was that dude, man. Jordan was that dude. Drop Mooney to pick up Pacheco. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, that does move the needle for me, Joe. Who's at the end of your bench? Mooney's probably worth at the very least, if your receiver depth is good, he's worth a hold. He's worth a bench stash.
I would want Mooney.
Yeah, who is at the end of your bench?
Mooney's finally starting to look up. He had 12 targets last week. Is he a wide receiver 1? No, but he's a volume-based wide receiver 2 if he continues that usage. You
have Ayuk, Sutton, Alec Pierce, Dylan Stevenson, Brian Robinson. You might want to drop Alec Pierce for Mooney.
I would.
I like Alec Pierce, but you might want to drop him for Mooney.
And do that right now.
Yeah. I mean, you have to wait till this week. Or next week.
But I'd put in that waiver right now.
Yeah.
And I'd be willing to throw some fab on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that moves the needle for me too.
Yeah, that does move the needle. And then before we get to the start 3 for Joe, Matthew's got a question: Robert Tonyan or Boyd? I would go Tonyan.
I'm on the Tonyan train, man.
Yeah,
I'm on the Tonyan train. No Randall Cobb. I'm going Tonyan.
Opponent has Burrow. That's fine. That doesn't change anything because it's not your stack. So go with the guy who has a little bit more of an opportunity in his own offense in Tonyan.
Yeah, and he just had 10 targets, didn't he?
Yeah, or 10 catches.
10 catches.
Yeah, he had 10 receptions for 90 yards.
12 targets, and now Randall Cobb is out. Yeah, I'm Tonyan.
Yep.
And Senor Rojo, if Keenan Allen's playing, I'm playing Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
If the situation is Renfro or Pacheco, I think I'm going Pacheco. Because, I mean, Renfro just hasn't shown the upside. It seems like Mac Hollins came in and stole all of that dude's upside.
Yeah.
But if Keenan Allen's playing, I'm playing Keenan Allen. But Hunter Renfro is the wide receiver, 132 on the season. And I know he's been banged up, but it hasn't looked good. DJ Duvernay, he's in the chat. You starting Pacheco or Montgomery? I'm starting Montgomery, man.
We missed Joe Juice's start 3 question. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that, Joe.
Ayuk, Sutton, Pierce, Dylan, Stevenson, Brian Robinson.
Stevenson, Ayuk,
Dylan.
Yeah. Stevenson, Ayuk, Dylan.
Yeah.
And yeah, put in that Mooney claim. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip you. I thought we got to your question there. But thanks for your question. And if you have any more Joe Juice, let us know. But DJ Duvernay, I'm going Montgomery, man.
Montgomery,
volume.
I guess,
Chasing
for
that volume.
One more week, and then let's see what happens with Pacheco.
We can reevaluate then.
Yeah.
Mark, full PPR, Donta Foreman, James Robinson, or Latavius Murray? James Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but James Robinson.
Yeah.
And Drake London, Wan'Dale Robinson, or any of those above running backs? Which way you going, Drake London or James Robinson?
I guess James Robinson. I don't feel great about it. If you need upside, I might just say screw it and play Wan'Dale Robinson. If you can play it safe, then fine, James Robinson, Mark. But if you need upside, I might say screw it and play Wan'Dale. It's hard to trust any of these running backs right now, to be completely honest, and it's hard to trust Drake London too. If you can get away with a floor play, then just go with James Robinson. If this is a competitive match, then go for the upside. Or if you're like, I'm looking at my situation and I'm an underdog this week, then Wan'Dale.
I mean, the Falcons, yes, they run the ball a lot, but they're gonna have to keep pace with Burrow,
they might
Chase
try
Higgins.
to throw a little more this week.
I think, considering it's full PPR, I'm going Drake London because he's the upside play. James Robinson isn't the upside play, and to your point, and Wan'Dale Robinson, he had 1 week. And Drake London's the superior talent. I think I'm going Wan'Dale, man. Or I think I'm going Drake London.
All right.
I think I'm going Drake London in full PPR.
All right.
So we're split. I'm London.
We're split.
Nick's Wan'Dale.
Yeah.
Yep. And Sad J talking it out. Rojo, Sebastian, is Pacheco with the bench spot in a 12-man? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can make it work, get him on your bench.
If you can find room on your bench, yes. Don't drop an obvious, or don't drop like somebody who's just because they're underperforming. But yes.
Yep. And Tim Shields, what do we do with J-Rob? You hold him.
You hang on. You're not feeling good, but you hang on.
I mean, he's an injury away from an RB1 workload, so you hold him. Yeah, it's hard to start him right now, coming off of 3 straight bad weeks, but you hold him. I mean, 10 touches or 10 rushes 2 weeks ago, 12 rushes last week, getting a few receptions. You hold him. You hold him.
Yep.
And Rojo's just not a Mike Williams guy. Fair.
I mean, yeah, he has his huge weeks.
He's boom bust.
But yeah,
his boom
like
weeks
I said,
are
at the
week
top,
winners.
I traded him for Aaron Jones yesterday, and I feel okay about that.
I'd rather have, in a vacuum, I'd rather have Aaron Jones too. In Sad J's situation, I'd rather have Williams.
Sure. Yeah.
Sad J, sit one standard. Aaron, we got another super? What'd you say?
No.
Oh.
I didn't say that.
What were you saying?
I forget. Let's keep going.
Okay. Sad J, sit one standard. Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker, Jamal Williams, Jonathan Taylor. I'm sitting Aaron Jones.
I'm sitting Jamal
I want to play Kenneth Walker. I want to play Jonathan Taylor, obviously, and I think I want to play Jamal Williams over Aaron Jones.
I want to play Jamal Williams too, but not over Aaron Jones. Against Washington, this week, Aaron Rodgers said to the media, Aaron Jones needs 20 touches a game. Said they need to simplify the game plan. They've lost 2 games straight. They need to lean on their guy. I think they will today. Nothing scary about the matchup against Washington. Jamal Williams has a tougher matchup. Yes, he's that dude, but I'll go with the talent.
Talent edge is in Aaron Jones's favor, but Aaron Jones on the year, RB16, Jamal Williams on the year, while playing with Swift for some of the year, RB11, and we've seen he has 2 touchdown upside when there's no Swift, plus there's no Chark. He could get somewhat peppered. I see his usage being similar to Aaron Jones's, and right now he's in the better offense. So we're split on that, Sedjay.
Yeah, go with your gut.
Because Swift is out, I'm going Jamal Williams, but I can absolutely see Aaron Jones as the Nick's point on Aaron Jones. Chat, help him out with this one.
Yeah. We're down at Tone.
Tones, with Swift out, start AJ Dillon or Pacheco. AJ Dillon, tier break.
I think it has to be Dillon. If you're a sizable underdog, I understand maybe wanting to swing for the fences and go with Pacheco, but I think you got to go with Dillon, and he's still getting the work. No, he hasn't scored. And
Crumply heads, it was a pick 3, so we need to throw another one in there. Williams, Pierce, Walker.
Take your pick.
I think I'm going Pierce.
I would go Walker. Yeah, I mean it's a good problem.
It's honestly a dart throw because these guys are real close
pick your
in the
favorite,
rankings
Crumply.
this week.
Yeah, pick your favorite. It's all like it's three options that should all fire.
Yep.
Did Mr. Crowler put any more of his potential drops in the chat? I don't see them.
Mr. Crowler, if you're still around, put your bench in the chat.
But get Jamal Williams if he's out there and available.
Yes, but throw your bench in the chat because I don't want to drop Tony Pollard.
Right.
And I don't want to drop DJ Moore.
We got to Crumply Head's question. I'm Jones over Cooks.
And
despite
Reese,
the full PPR.
This week, I'm going Jamal Williams.
In full PPR, ETN is enticing, but Williams has the work to himself in that backfield. It is a tough matchup by the numbers, but the Lions have a really good offensive line, so.
Yeah. No, Jamal Williams is RB1 upside when he gets the role all to himself in this offense right now. So, Jamal Williams.
Yeah, he's had his ceiling games. ETN has been good, has been consistent, and I expect the ceiling games to come, but they haven't yet.
Yep.
So go with Jamal.
South C, you have Lockett questionable. Should you pick up Gallup? Yes.
I would.
And I'd play Gallup over both of those other wide receivers for this week.
I would do that as well. Yeah, I feel safer with Gallup with Dak back at home. Lockett hasn't practiced all week. He's expected to play. Feels tough to trust him.
Jonah, you were offered Mike Evans, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker, and Damian Pierce, and Andrews for Chase, CMC, Stevenson, ETN, and Schultz. That's a blockbuster. Well, you're getting two of the better players, or you're giving up two of the better players, but you're getting Andrews. I don't want to give up Chase and CMC.
Oh man, yeah. I guess I would hold that.
I know that it looks like a good return, man. It looks like a really good return. Man, this is close.
I think I would keep what I have.
I like Evans, like Mixon, like Damian Pierce and Kenneth Walker, obviously, and what's not to like about Andrews, but I don't want to give up Chase and CMC after this deal.
That's hard to part with.
Yeah.
That's hard to part with.
And Ramondre and ETN are no slouches, and Schultz should have better days ahead of him. I think I'm standing pat. It's close, though.
Yeah.
Marco, CeeDee Lamb for Debo and Metcalf. Yeah, if you're getting the Debo and Metcalf side.
Whoever's getting Debo and Metcalf.
Yep.
Whoever's getting Debo and Metcalf.
And TX, I'm going Montgomery.
Yeah, I guess so. Volume, I guess.
And Finn, I'm going Foreman. Hubbard last year averaged 3.6 yards per carry. His averages are better this season, but that's on like 3 carries.
Might as well go. If you have to play one of these dudes, you might as well fire up Foreman.
Foreman with the Texans last year, filling in for Henry while playing with Dontrell Hilliard, had 3 100-yard rushing games in his first 5 starts. Foreman.
I'm just double checking the Mostert versus Montgomery decision that has to be made. I think I might actually go Mostert with Tua back. Montgomery's been okay a couple of weeks, kind of unusable a couple other weeks. They're going up against the Patriots on the road. I'm not loving that
Raheem
spot
Mostert has 1 usable week.
Yeah, I know, but he's now he gets Tua back at home. Good matchup. Not on the injury report.
I'm going Montgomery. He has 2 usable weeks, and then 1 week he was out. So we gotta throw that out the window. Yeah. But he has at least 2 usable weeks versus 1, and we know he's the bell cow. Whereas Mostert, this offense has been flip flopping every week.
Yeah, it's flip flops, but he gets Tua back, and I just don't like that Patriots matchup for Montgomery. So we're split.
Sorry about that, man.
Yes. Yeah, take the discourse and go with your gut.
And Jonah, pick 2 out of Zeke, ETN, Deontay, Mike Williams, or Kirk. Well, Mike Williams.
And ETN.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Unless it's standard, then I guess I'd be okay with Zeke. If it's standard scoring, then I guess I'm okay with Zeke. But if it's half or full PPR, yeah, Mike Williams and ETN.
And Ernest, PPR flex, Jamal Williams or Brandon Cooks? Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams.
I like Cooks. Cooks should have an opportunity to make a big play today, but you're talking about a guy who should get 20 touches. I think you got to fire up Williams today.
Quinn, I'm going Tunyon. Pretty easy decision for me too. I'm going Tunyon.
Yeah, start Tunyon. Let's see. Let's give Schultz a week.
And Ernest, Pacheco, Gordon, Drake, or Zay Jones in the flex PPR. It's an ugly, choice to have to make, but I think I'm going Kenyon Drake.
Drake. I think. I mean, the Browns, just because the Browns are giving up so many points on defense, so like Drake might just have a chance to fall into the end zone once. Pacheco is very intriguing today, but it is a pretty tough matchup, and we don't know what start means for, right? Like the word start is it's relative.
CEH was starting and getting 42% of the snaps on an average basis. Yeah.
Pacheco is interesting today, but we don't know what start means as it pertains to the Chiefs' backfield.
I think it means everybody gets a 33% snap share.
We will find out. So for that, I guess I'll go with Drake. Just ride the hot hand.
And Shine G, Metcalf, easy.
Yeah, go Metcalf, Shine G.
Lockett's banged up right now, and I don't know if you can trust him fully.
Right. Jonas got another question about Schultz. I'm starting Njoku over Schultz as well. I'm starting Njoku over Tunyon.
Yes. But it's very close.
But if you have to play both, we got somebody else had a Tunyon or Schultz question, I think.
That was Quinn. Sorry. Starting Njoku over Schultz.
Right, yeah, Njoku over Schultz. Yep.
JP, should I start Curtis Samuel today? Your other option is Donta Foreman. I think I'm going Donta Foreman. Yeah, I really don't trust Taylor Heineke-led offenses.
Yeah, I mean it's tough right now. It's a tough matchup for both, but at least Foreman, we can hope for a 60% snap share and half of the touches in this backfield, if not more. Yeah, I'll go Foreman. Samuel is hard to trust right now.
Yep. Yeah. Tim Shields, is Arizona's defense worth using going forward? Now, they were a spot start suggestion by Nick yesterday or last week for this week.
Thursday, yeah.
And it worked out for you. And they are coming off of 2 20-point weeks, but I don't know if the unit is actually that good.
No, they just gave up 30 points to a road team on Thursday night, missing their starting quarterback and 2 starting wide receivers.
There you go. So throw it in the chat who you can swerve to, and we'll help you make a decision on who to go with. But I was speculating maybe they were by just looking at the fact that they are the number 4 fantasy defense right now. But
that's
to
a
Nick's
bit of
point,
a mirage.
They've
also played
the
an
unit
extra
isn't
game.
that good. Right.
They've also played an extra game to accumulate points to this point.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's an aberration. Yep. No, they're not moving forward. We'll worry about defenses on Tuesday, Tim, if you want to join our the waiver show.
And sideline star Dubs, Dylan, Pacheco. It's one of the Packers, and since it's PPR,
leaning Dubbies.
I'm leaning Dubs for upside, but Dylan is a fine flex play. But I think I'm going upside and playing Dubs.
Dubs, if you could use a little extra upside, if you think you can play it safe, then Dylan. Pacheco, let's wait and see.
To your point about Aaron Jones talking up, or Aaron Rodgers talking up Aaron Jones, I'm going Dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew, another question. Mooney, Josh Reynolds, Robert Tunyon, full PPR. Who do I flex?
Well, if you feel weird flexing a tight end, then don't do it. I mean
they all have 10 target upside.
Sure, but if you are sitting there and it's just like, I feel weird doing this, then don't do it. Do what makes you feel better. I think I would go Reynolds here.
I would too.
In a plus matchup where we expect game script, the Lions are going to have to throw the ball. Reynolds has been involved. No DeAndre Swift, so that could free up a target or two for somebody like him.
No Mooney's DJ Chark, so he's a full-time, full-role player.
Off. Yep. Mooney's tough matchup against the Patriots by the numbers. Tunyon, you said it yourself. If you feel weird flexing a tight end, then start a wide receiver. And Reynolds is perfectly fine based on his recent track record. Reynolds. Yeah,
Reynolds has, I think, 4 to 5 straight weeks of 10-plus fantasy points per game.
Yeah.
So Reynolds, rock solid wide receiver 2.
Yep.
Riley thinks Drake London should have a good game today. We will see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can't rest on their laurels. The Falcons, in a road matchup against a good offense, maybe they have to throw the ball a little bit more than they want, than they've proven that they want to. So yeah, could turn into more targets for London and Pitts. Let's see how they do on the road.
Oh man, you know what I'm forced to do in a league?
What are you forced
in a
to
dynasty
do?
league? Because Kirk Cousins and Josh Allen are on bye, and the Trey Lance got hurt. Those were my quarterbacks in the Superflex league. I only have one quarterback to start, and it's Brett Rippon. I have to.
You mean the best quarterback on the Broncos roster?
Shut up, dude. Shine G, should I play Jonathan Taylor this week? Yes.
Yes, you're always playing Taylor.
And Greg Z, Everett.
What's up, Greg?
Everett. With no Josh Palmer this week, with Keenan Allen
and you have,
up in the air, Everett.
Well, now here's the question, because you do have the luxury of being able to make this call. If Keenan Allen is active, do you pivot to Freiermuth, who's playing Sunday night?
Everett.
All right, that's fine. Everett is the tight end, I think, 8 on the year.
Better quarterback, Everett.
Yeah, better quarterback.
Bradley Roach, I'm playing Jamal Williams, even in full PPR.
Yes, Jamal Williams over Drake. London should have a decent opportunity today, but Williams. Still a low-volume passing offense in Atlanta.
Crumply heads, I doubt that you can get a low-ball offer, but I'm not trading the moon for Pacheco because I haven't seen anything yet. There is a chance that he gets you 6 points this week, so I wouldn't go crazy in a dynasty league. A late future second, something like that is probably the market price right now, and people might be trying to ask for more.
Yep, because we're bursting with unknown right now. We're bursting with unknown, and when people don't know what they want to be excited about, they're gonna hold.
And CEH isn't gonna completely disappear. I don't think that McKinnon is gonna completely disappear. I know this is dynasty you're talking about, but CEH has a few more years on that squad's and he's only 23 years old in his own right. I think he's about the same age as Pacheco too. So and we're unsure what a start means. So don't give up the world, but at least inquire about him, sure.
Yeah.
And Joe Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Terry McLaurin, pick 2 wide receiver standard. Everybody not named McLaurin.
Dang.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I like Ayuk more this with Taylor Heineke, and I like Deontay Johnson more than McLaurin with Tyler Heineke. So
Deontay feels tough to trust right now with Kenny Pickett, and they're just not playing well as an offense.
I mean, Deontay Johnson and McLaurin are both ugly choices to have to make right now. But, I mean, Deontay has at least shown upside in the last year, and McLaurin hasn't. He hasn't.
I think McLaurin's best weeks this year are better than Deontay's best weeks. It's not saying a lot.
Yeah.
Deontay's got a 12-point half PPR week.
There's a and
McLaurin has a
14 point week against Philly. So I mean they're basically the same player, but Deontay's getting more targets at least. I mean, we're not seeing 4 target games from Deontay and him cashing in on it. I'm going Deontay and Ayuk.
Yeah, all right. I do think McLaurin draws a few more targets today. Just going with the backup quarterback narrative.
I know you've long been a fan of McLaurin, and the talent is absolutely there. But, like, his best finish in 4 years of playing, his best finish is wide receiver 20.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to... I really don't know what to think about McLaurin. Because the talent, I feel... I believed in the talent, but through 4 years, he hasn't capitalized on it. And it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a victim of bad situations, but yeah, and I'm admitting today. Yeah, it's like, yeah, go with Deontay and Ayuk today, I guess. But I just wanted to say I do think McLaurin draws a few more targets with the backup quarterback in. That's all.
True. And Greg Z, you sent it too quick. Brian Robinson, Mostert, and Travis Etienne.
Etienne.
Yep. And for the defense, Miami, Cincy, Jets, or Colts.
I would go Miami against Pittsburgh. I would. I know the Jets look enticing right now, going up against Brett Rypien and the Broncos, and they're probably a fine play, but they're on the road. Miami's at home. And the Steelers are like, you know, they're not the worst offense in the league, but they're one worth taking your chances with a rookie quarterback and a bad offensive line.
Hey, look, I'm not going to argue against Nick right now in terms of his he's got a good hit rate on defenses right now this week. So, Miami. Mark, you just picked up Pacheco. Do you go with him or Brian Robinson, Dr. Foreman, or Latavius Murray? Robinson.
Go Robinson. I don't know if that's James Robinson or Brian Robinson, but either way, I would
Robinson.
Go with Robinson.
Play the Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson.
And Patrick Haas, I mean...
What's up, Patrick?
Khalil Herbert or Gus Edwards?
It's kind of gross, but I guess Herbert... This is Gus's first game back. He might be an emergency guy only today. Maybe he's more, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Herbert can have a floor of 0 when Montgomery plays, but I would expect the Bears to be trailing in this game Monday night, and that clears a path for more potential playing time for Herbert.
He does have an 8-point and a 10-point game playing with Montgomery.
Yeah, I would go Herbert.
So I do think, yes, he has a floor of 0, but I think Gus Edwards could be a complete afterthought this week, and Khalil Herbert might just be a little bit more involved.
Yeah.
And Alex, good luck to you too. Thanks for chilling.
What's up, Alex?
Good to see you. Garth Murray, good morning.
Hey, Garth.
For your flex pick, 1 half PPR, Brian Robinson, Gallup, Renfro, or Jacoby Myers. Gallup
upside. Myers is a floor play. Brian Robinson is a lower floor play. Renfro, I don't trust.
Gallup.
Yeah, Gallup for some upside at home. Gets his quarterback back. Month removed from returning from the injury. Things should be looking up.
And B3 Solo, good to see you too, man. I'm down doing that. I'm down for doing that. Najee for Mike Evans, considering your running backs. Go for it.
Yep. Do it. I'm totally on board with that. Do it today.
And Moreau over Schultz.
Huh. The Raiders are playing the Texans. Nothing scary about that matchup.
Moreau.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe, I guess this might be my threshold of where I say, okay, give Schultz a go.
No, Moreau gives you low-end tight end 1 weeks, mid-tier tight end 1 weeks with no Waller.
Out. Yeah.
And it's Renfro's first game back.
I think it's his second game back, it's okay. I think so. But he didn't do much in his return. And he's on the injury report. Renfro is questionable, but he's expected to play, but he's got a hip injury. Yeah, Foster Moreau. I don't like that situation. Added to I didn't realize this. Late in Thursday, add to the injury report for Hunter Renfro.
Yeah, Moreau.
Screw it.
And redraft keeper question. Yeah, I think I would drop Sky to pick up Pacheco.
Alex, no question. Yeah. No question.
Sky hasn't done anything.
Sky has done nothing.
Yep.
He might, he's going to have his chance. He's got years to develop, in a great offense. I don't think this is the year to have him in redraft or keeper. Dynasty, sure, absolutely. Redraft keeper, no.
Cash money. I'm starting the first 2. Jamal Williams and CMC.
Yep. Fire up the clear cut. Well, Jamal Williams has the clear cut RB1 workload. McCaffrey doesn't today, but it's Christian McCaffrey. Fire him up on upside alone.
And Alex starts sit Isaiah Pacheco or Curtis Samuel. Or Gordon.
Fuck it, play Pacheco?
Yeah. I'm there.
Yeah. Screw it, play Pacheco. Of those options, screw it, play Pacheco. I want to trust Melvin Gordon, but I don't trust Melvin Gordon because I don't trust the Broncos.
Yeah. Agreed. And Marco with the name change.
That's it. If you're getting Lamb, then absolutely not. Keep Debo, keep DK. That's too much to get. CD's a wide receiver 1, but so is Debo, and Metcalf's not far off. That's too much to give up for CeeDee Lamb.
Agreed.
Keep your pieces.
Colin, I'm going with the last 2, Terry and Josh Reynolds.
Yes, this is where you play Terry when it's between him and his teammate.
Yep.
And Reynolds has been rock solid. Ride the wave.
And Scott Sharp, I like that deal. Because Ingram is replaceable and Pacheco is a good lottery ticket to have.
Yep.
I like that deal.
Smart.
And you got another defense question. I'm going to cede this one to you.
I'm not playing the Panthers against Brady, even though they're a good unit. The Titans and Colts are playing each other, right? I think it's a revenge game for the Titans. Neither one of these options are super enticing. I guess Indianapolis is a little bit better. But I think they're still missing Shaq Leonard. They've been somewhat decent the past couple of weeks. 4 sacks the past 2 games. At least 1 turnover in all but 2 games this year. The problem is they're going up against Derrick Henry, right? That's the scary thing. But of course, on the flip side, the Titans are going against Jonathan Taylor. If these are your options, Thomas, I mean, are the Jets available? Maybe the Dolphins aren't. If these are your options, are the Jets available? I'm not. The Jets are a trendy pick today on defense. I'm not like crazy about chasing that, but I think I might roll the dice on them over any of these 3. If the Dolphins are gone, if the Jets are gone, then I guess I would roll the dice with the Colts, even though they're on the road. They're a slightly better unit than the Titans. The Panthers might sneakily be the best unit of this group, but the offense is putrid, and they're going against Tom Brady. They're going to be probably in more bad spots than good today.
And Joe, pick 1 running back, pick 1 flex. With the running back, I'm going Kenyon Drake. And with the flex, I'm going with Keenan Allen. But if we get some bad news on Keenan Allen, since they're in the same window, I'm swerving to Ayuk. I like Reynolds a lot, but Allen presents a different type of upside. And you can swerve to Ayuk if he's not playing. Pivot. So I think that's the safe play.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Damon Lewis had Swift in your lineup, took him out. Start Pierce or Amon-Ra. Ooh.
Still go with the running back.
Yeah, I guess, but that is tough.
Yeah, it's a tough call. It's a good problem to have. You have a lot of good options. You know, you're gonna have when you have options like that. Somebody on your bench is gonna pop off.
Yeah.
You know, that's the nature of the beast. Trade a couple pieces for an even better piece. But yeah.
Is it PPR? Just gotta ask.
I mean, you can go either way.
If it's PPR, I think I go Amon-Ra. But if it's half or standard, Pierce.
That's fine, but you can honestly go either way.
You can. Yep.
If it's standard, Pierce. And then after that, it's like you have a decision to make.
Thomas Gage, I'm going Alan Lazard, man.
I am too. He's been very consistent, Thomas. I would go Lazard. I know Watkins is back. I don't care.
And Mark, start 2 running backs, CMC and Aaron Jones. Start 1 wide receiver.
Yep.
I think it's Deontay. Deontay is the answer.
Yeah, Sutton.
Don't feel great about it, but Deontay.
Pierce is interesting, but I'll go with the Steelers wide receiver 1 in a game where they should have to throw a lot. Yeah, McCaffrey, Jones, Deontay.
And Tim,
no, I wouldn't regret it. God,
it's about it. I mean, they're real close, so I think it's
really good.
I think it's Pittman or Godwin. I think it's about the same.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's about the same.
They're both really good wide receivers. And you got Chase. There's no regret as far as I'm concerned, because you got, of the 3 of them, you got the best one. So
yes,
you're
agreed.
Fine.
Marco, Foreman or Pacheco? Foreman floor, Pacheco ceiling.
Yeah,
but
Foreman,
even the ceiling might not be super high for Pacheco.
It might not.
You just have to keep that in mind.
If going into this, you have to know that you might be getting a low output from both of them. So if you can stomach knowing that you might get a low output from both, Pacheco is a bit of a more upside play just because of the offense and the situation. But Foreman should get it done as a, again, low-end floor.
And George Cook, the guy you're playing this week, traded CMC, DK Metcalf, and Zay Jones for Derrick Henry, Christian Kirk, and Cortland Sutton. Should you be more or less worried right now?
I mean, Derrick Henry's probably got more
playing time this week, I think.
Henry's probably got more upside than McCaffrey this week.
But DK no Lockett. I'd rather be playing Christian Kirk than DK with no Lockett.
It's a push. I mean, it's a wash.
Yeah.
It's a wash. I mean,
and
I'd play the matchup.
I'd rather be playing Zay Jones than Cortland Sutton, even with a bad quarterback. But
yeah,
it's up in the air.
Yeah,
I like it. Might be a little bit worse this week, but it's very, very minimal.
Yeah,
just because we don't know what to really truly expect from CMC's usage in week 1.
Yep.
Sebastian, should you trade Mike Williams and Hunt for JT?
Yes.
Yeah, why not? Do it.
Yes.
Get the best player.
Try to get one of the best running backs as far as expectations.
And you're buying low. Go for it.
Yes.
If he's putting up 20-point and 30-point weeks, there's no way you could get that deal done. So go for it now before he does.
Yep.
Colin, pick 2. Did we already get this one? Yes.
Yeah.
The last two, Colin. And just a reminder, we do get to every question in the chat. There is no need to repeat your questions, even though sometimes it does take us a little bit longer to get through the entire chat. We will get to every question.
Yeah,
so
we
just
appreciate
a reminder
everybody's
out there.
patience. Although we're making some good progress.
Yeah.
Some good headway.
Thomas Gage.
Woods has the better matchup by far.
Yeah, but it's very close to where there's a slight talent tier break. But Trees coming off an 8-target week with the better quarterback. Trees.
Yeah, I guess Bobby.
And again, you got another defense question.
Jags or Chargers? Chargers look pretty good here against Seattle. I mean, Seattle's been playing well recently. But the Chargers are at home. They had a good game last week against Denver, but that's not that hard. They did nothing against Cleveland in week 5, but again, Cleveland is a tough matchup. They did, the offense scored points. That's about it. But they had 1 turnover. They picked off Jacoby Brissett once, but they didn't sack him. They've been pretty much hit or miss, the Chargers. They've got 3 very usable weeks and 3 awful weeks. Of course, one of those weeks was against Kansas City as well. So in their better matchups, they've delivered. In the matchups where you would expect by the numbers for them to not perform, they have not performed. Seattle is middle of the pack as far as fantasy points allowed. I guess what I would want to know is I'm going to look up sacks allowed in the NFL this year, and I'll get back to this question. Can you keep it moving? Well,
there's another Chargers D question, so you're getting the 2-for-1 answer there. But yeah, I'll just keep it moving real quick. I'm not playing Lockett this week, Alex, so I'm going with your namesake and Alec Pierce.
There you go.
And I'm gonna skip down below Crumply Head's question here about the Chargers D while Nick is looking that up. Is Bateman a go today? It's questionable. He's edging towards starting, but he's probably going to be on a pitch count if he starts. But it does look
going to start rolling in the next 10.
But it does look better for him than worse. But no guarantees until we actually see some concrete news on him. But he is questionable. Joe, Foster Moreau or Robert Tonyan, half PPR, Goddard on bye.
I'm just finalizing my thoughts for the defense question.
I mean, it's close. I think who's now I got to look at fantasy points against Washington or Houston for tight ends to make this decision here.
I might roll the dice, Patrick, and anybody who's asking about the Chargers. I might roll the dice on the Chargers. They've Seattle's not giving up a ton of sacks, but the Chargers are producing sacks. They're generating sacks. Whereas the Jags are going up against the Giants. Daniel Jones has actually been sacked 19 times so far this year. That's top 5 in the league, I think. Sorry. It's top 7. Top 7. But the Jags aren't producing sacks. They have one 5-sack game all the way back in week 2 against Indianapolis when the Colts looked like a shell of themselves. Since then, they've had 2 or fewer sacks in every game. So I'll play what I think right now is the better unit on paper, and that's the Chargers. I know Seattle's looking pretty good on offense. They're doing a great job running the ball, and Geno Smith, I mean, hats off to him on the start of his season so far. But we have to remember we were expecting this to be one of the worst offenses in the NFL coming into the season. So I'll ride the talent that the Chargers have on the defensive line with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack.
There you go. And Joe, to the Moreau or Tanyan question, they're real close in the rankings, but as far as the defenses that they're playing, Houston is 15 against ranked 15 in fantasy points against for tight ends with 10, and Washington's giving up 5 fantasy points per week, basically.
Oh, so Joey Bosa's out.
So I'm playing Foster Moreau in the much better matchup, even though they're kind of equal in terms of, you know, what I suspect their usage to be. The matchup's much better for Moreau.
And I mentioned Joey Bosa. He's out, but still, they have Khalil Mack, and 2 of the past 3 weeks, the Chargers have produced 4 sacks in each of those games. One of those games was without Bosa, so yeah, I'll rock with the Chargers.
And Peter Jimenez, pick 2, Pacheco, Montgomery, Mixon, and Hunt, non-PPR. Mixon for sure. And
Montgomery's a floor play.
Hunt's a ceiling play.
Hunt's your upside play. I think I go Mixon and Hunt.
I think I do too.
I think I go Mixon and Hunt. Montgomery's tough to trust in that terrible offense, and the Patriots are pretty good against the run by the numbers, and they're at home.
And Damon Lewis, it's full PPR. All right, well, then it's really a dart throw. I would go Amon-Ra.
I mean, Amon-Ra should catch a lot of balls today.
He should. He should. But your other option in Swervin is not bad either. So it's really your choice. I know this doesn't help you out. It's a your choice situation. Personally, for me, I would go Amon-Ra. And Patrick Haas, Michael Carter, or Khalil Herbert. Michael Carter.
For the floor play, I guess. Yeah, no, I guess on the
Michael Carter.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup by the numbers.
Yeah, but when Montgomery plays, Herbert has his upside is 10 points. Michael Carter has higher upside than just 10 points. He has 2 touchdown upside when he's playing with Breece Hall. We've seen it. Michael Carter.
I guess.
And Marco, I'm going Everett, man. Everett.
Yeah, that's fine.
And your last one, Ayuk or Pierce?
Which Pierce?
Yeah, which Pierce? If that's Damien, it's Damien. If that's Alec, it's Ayuk.
Yeah.
And Sam, what's going on, man?
What's up, Sam?
Flex Pitts or Jamal Williams?
Dude, it's Jamal Williams.
Easy.
DeAndre Swift is out. Yeah. I mean, look, I like Pitts, but this is a situation right now.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams.
Damon Luce with another question. Foreman, Pacheco, London at the flex, full PPR. London and PPR.
Yeah, I'll give London a roll of the dice here. Despite the low volume, he's still getting 5 to 7 targets, and the volume might, out of necessity, increase today. Just they're on the road. Cincinnati's good. If they have a lead, the Bengals do, that is, the Falcons will have no choice. They will have to throw it a little more than they probably want. London.
And Matisse, easy answer. Start Dameon Pierce pretty much wherever you have him in standard.
Yeah, Pierce.
Over ETN for sure. Standard. I like ETN. Good situation to be in, but start Pierce. And Damon Luce, another question. Is Waddle going to play? I think so. And you have Amon-Ra, who you know is going to play. Should just start Amon-Ra. I want to play both of those guys, man.
Waddle, I want to play Waddle and Amon-Ra. Waddle is questionable with a shoulder injury. It sounds like it's not anything super serious, and we expect Waddle to play. But if you're worried about the injury designation, he does not play until Sunday night. So if you want to play the guy who's not on the injury report in Amon-Ra, that's fine.
But I am trying to play both, so what is the entire situation?
Sure, but if you have a guy you can swerve to either Sunday night or Monday night that you feel confident in, that's not a significant downgrade from any of your other options, then fine. If not, then sure, play it safe. You have good options.
And Sutton or London standard?
Yes, London.
Yeah,
if you don't believe in the Broncos offense with Ripien, then
it's there. I mean, at this point, they're probably like right back to back in the rankings, but it's London for me.
Yeah.
And Anthony, easy. Brees. You're starting Brees. Brees is basically a must start at this point. You're starting Brees.
Yeah.
I love Ramondre. You're starting Brees. Drop Dobbins for Eno. No, but I'm trying to get Eno.
Drop
Dark
Rondale
Wolf.
Moore for Eno.
Yeah, or Duvernay.
Actually, sure. Drop Duvernay and Rondale Moore for Eno and Judy. Sure, I'm fine with that.
All right, I don't think Judy has too much upside, but
yeah, but neither does. I mean, but I'd rather take a chance on him than Duvernay. Like if I offered you Duvernay in a trade for Judy straight up, or if I was offered that, it's like, yeah, all right, I'll roll the dice on Judy. There were much higher expectations for him coming into the year.
But I mean, Rondale is basically the RB2 or the wide receiver 2 right now.
He bombed on Thursday night.
Yeah,
in a game where AJ Green saw no snaps.
2 targets, but the weeks before that, 10 and 8 targets. Like, what's Judy done for you? So I'm not dropping Dobbins for Eno. I'm keeping Dobbins. I am trying to pick up Eno. I think I'm dropping Duvernay.
Drop Duvernay for Eno. That's fine.
Even if Bateman doesn't play today, I'm dropping Duvernay for Eno. But
yeah.
And this is preferential. I think I'm keeping Rondale. Nick wants Judy.
Yeah. So it's up to you on who you would rather have. But Duvernay for Eno, I'm good with that.
Jay Judah drop Connor, Eno, Hunt, or Pollard for Pacheco. None of them. Who else can you drop? Throw your bench in the chat. I'm not dropping any of those guys.
Yeah.
If that is your bench, then you just told Pat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Anthony shouting out the Raiders D.
And they're playing the Texans. So, it's a good matchup by the numbers. What have they been up to? They were on bye last week, so they're rested. They only have one usable week, and it was against Denver, which is predictable. Everybody fires against Denver. They've allowed over 20 points in every game. They do have 3 sacks in each of the past 2 games they've played, and one of those was against Mahomes, so that's not nothing. But also, they didn't turn him over, and they gave up 30 points. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good matchup by the numbers for Vegas, but, I'm not going out of my way. They should be fine today, but you probably have better options.
And
like the Chargers, even though they don't have Joey Bosa.
Yep, Patrick, you got your answer on that. The Angry Glizzies, honestly, Colts underrated. I don't think they're underrated. Defense? They just underperformed. Underrated, underrated and underperformed are 2 different things. They've just been underperforming.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're underrated. Main, I'm going Jamal Williams this week.
Yeah, take the dude with the RB1 workload.
I like that name too, Main.
Yeah, take Jamal Williams. Go with Jamal Williams.
Austin Baldwin, CMC.
Yeah, McCaffrey. Yeah, play McCaffrey if you have him. Even in a potential reduced opportunity and workload, we're talking about a top 2 pick in your redraft leagues this year. Play McCaffrey. Joe
Felon, pick 2 wide receivers non-PPR, Bateman, London, Brandon Cooks, and Jacoby Myers. Brandon Cooks for sure.
Yeah,
Bateman
Cooks sure.
Bateman if he's not playing.
London.
I think I go with I do like London this week, but I think I go with Jacoby Myers getting his quarterback back, considering he does have 20-point upside, and he's done that twice this year with Mac Jones. So I think I'm going back to Myers just because he's got a safe floor and he has the ceiling that London theoretically has too.
Yeah.
So, Cook and Bateman. If Bateman doesn't play, which we should know shortly because we're starting to get some news coming down.
Start rolling in. Yep.
So, if Bateman's not playing, then swerve to Myers. And good luck. Peter Jimenez, Montgomery. Montgomery over Pacheco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
AB, what's going on,
up,
man?
AB?
And good to see you, Xavier. What's happening with both y'all?
Guys.
School's kicking your arse. Sorry to hear.
Hey, man, it's school.
Get
you know
through
how
it.
Goes.
You'll be all right.
Yep.
You finally disowned Russ.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Jimmy Garoppolo or Geno Smith.
I dropped Geno for Jimmy G last night.
Jimmy.
I'll go Jimmy with all of his weapons. I like Geno. He's off to a great start, but he might have a hobbled Tyler Lockett today. Jimmy has his full complement of weapons plus Christian McCaffrey. Against the Chiefs, who are giving up the most passing scores allowed, and I think like the 4th or 5th most fantasy points to quarterbacks this year. So it's just a great matchup by the numbers. Jimmy over Geno. Yeah, I made the swap myself last night.
And yeah, I mean, if you can trade DJ Moore or Sutton for a QB, considering your quarterback situation, go for it.
Sure. You might not get much for DJ Moore right now, but
or
sure.
Sutton, but try.
Or try both for a slightly better upgrade if you can stomach losing the wide receiver depth.
Yeah, go for it. Or you could just stream. So it's up to you.
Right. I mean, Jimmy G, we mentioned it, AB, on the stream a little while ago. Jimmy G is looking like, let's see if he's able to hold it together and not shit the bed. Because let's call a spade a spade. Jimmy G, in the grand scheme of things in a vacuum, is a fringe NFL starter. But for fantasy purposes, he just got an upgrade.
Weapons in the NFL.
He just got an upgrade. I mean, he might be in that conversation as far as overall.
I think he does. Who has better all-around weapons than he right now? Tight end 1, 2 wide receivers you can count on. CMC and Elijah Mitchell waiting in the wings. Like, yeah. I think he's got the best position group situation around him. So you can stream too, man. But yeah, I would see what you can get from Moore and Sutton, and see if you can just get a bona fide upgrade.
You might get to a point where you can trade Jimmy G and DJ Moore for an upgrade.
Yeah, wait a few weeks. That might be the case for you too. Jay Judah, Lazard, Gus Edwards, and the Eagles D are on your bench, but you would have to drop 2 players since Gus is on your IR still. Drop Connor, So I'm holding Pat. I'm staying where I'm at, man.
Yeah, I mean, if it was just one, I would say drop Gus, but if you have to drop a second, can you try to trade Connor? You'd still have to get a player in return. And somebody's probably going to be picking up
Pacheco real soon too. So, see if you can make a trade, and hopefully nobody picks him up by the time he plays, and then you can just wait and see and move into next week and try to make a waiver for him then. Figure out that situation then. But in the situation you're at now, I would hold Pat. Your running backs are fine. You got Gus Edwards waiting in the wings too. But he's your RB5 right now, so you're fine. You don't necessarily need Pacheco.
Bateman is active for what
there we
it's
go.
worth.
There you go. Damon Luce, you have Chase as your wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 2 is either Waddle or Amon-Ra, and you have Flex in, and you have Damian Pearson. Got you. And I have a flex and have Damian Pierce. Who are your running backs?
I mean, if you have all of these really good options, I default to the healthy dudes. Waddle's on the injury report and not playing till Sunday night. When you have all of these really good options, then just sit Waddle because he's on the injury report and not playing till Sunday night. Someone's probably going to pop off for you on your bench. It's not a bad problem to have. It's a good problem to have. But like in a vacuum, I want to play Waddle. But when you have such elite options everywhere,
you're going to be fine.
Play
regardless.
the healthy dudes.
Yep.
Play the healthy dudes.
I'm fine with that. that.
Yeah. I mean, is Waddle going to pop on your bench? Probably. Is Pierce going to pop on your bench? Probably. Is Amon-Ra going to pop on your bench? Probably. So just just go with the healthy guys.
Yep.
If you don't want this problem, Damon, then be aggressive with trying to make a trade. Like, offer 2 of them for a Cooper Kupp, a Saquon Barkley, like a Stephon Diggs.
JP, do I pick up Gus Edwards now or keep Donta Foreman? I mean, it's kind of a wash. It depends on if you want a guy who could be the RB1 in a better offense. Donta Foreman's offense is not getting any better, but if they keep shipping out players from that offense, there's going to be nobody else to use, so at least he's going to get the volume. I think I like Gus Edwards, man, but, like, I don't know, man. It's really preferential. I don't really have a direction that I would advise you to go in here.
Yeah.
Do you need somebody to start this week? Because Donta Foreman should get you points some kind of points this week. Gus Edwards is more of a week from now, 2 weeks from now sort of play. AB, is it even worth trading Morris Sutton? I mean,
for a quarterback,
if you can get it done,
sure, but
try.
Yeah,
see what you can get.
Sure.
There's no harm in seeing what you can get. Just put them on the block, throw it out there in a message, see what happens. But I'm also fine streaming and riding it out. Dark Wolf, should I start Njoku for Kittle today? I mean,
no.
I like Njoku, but you got to continue to start Kittle against KC.
Yeah, no.
Daddy K, Damon, wide receiver.
Oh, he's just talking through it.
Got you. Thanks for helping him out. Randy, you traded CEH and McLaurin for Kenneth Walker in London 2 weeks ago. Good job, dude.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. Very well.
We got a Schefter bomb. We got an Adam Schefter bomb on Twitter. Breaking news. The Panthers are listing Chuba Hubbard as their starting running back today.
Weird. All right.
Don't play Donta Foreman. Don't also play Chuba Hubbard. I would wait a week in all situations. I mean, if it's Gus Edwards or Donta Foreman, pick up Chuba Hubbard. Like, I don't know. I would avoid this Panthers backfield at all costs.
Yeah, it's low upside plays regardless of who's the starter.
Yeah, Donta Foreman is officially
we still think it's Donta Foreman, but the coaching staff could just go rogue.
They're in evaluation mode. They're gonna look at their young guys. That's just how I'm rationalizing this, and like from their point of view. Or maybe they just like what they see in Chuba right now in practice. Either way, Donta Foreman is incredibly difficult to trust with this update. Chuba Hubbard probably is too, but it now looks like maybe he's the guy that we had pegged Donta Foreman as far as what we expected, as far as 1A opportunities. That could be Chuba now, but we don't know. Pivot off of this backfield at all costs.
Yep. And P. Diddy Papa Diddy Puff, what's happening, man? Definitely start Josh Reynolds there, not Braxton Berrios.
Yeah.
Easy.
Start Reynolds.
Easy.
I know Elijah Moore is out, but Reynolds has been producing.
Cheddarhead, are you from Wisconsin? Full point PPR need to start too. I'm starting Amari Cooper for sure, and then I think I'm going Damian Harris. I know it's full point, and Deontay is the wide receiver, but we've talked about it a couple of times on this pod already, on this live stream already. Deontay Johnson hasn't shown much upside, and Damian Harris, he has, and he's healthy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
And yeah, Damon saw it too as well. Yeah, Hubbard getting the start today. Avoid the Panthers backfield.
Stylesaurus, Najee or Zeke rest of season.
Oof.
I mean, at least Zeke gets his quarterback back. Where's the help coming for Najee?
Yeah, the offensive line is still awful.
I think it's Zeke, but none of these options feel I'm super confident in really turning the Jets on.
Yeah,
but I think I got to go Zeke after a good week and his quarterback's back.
Mm-hmm.
Nemo, don't drink bleach. Don't drink bleach. Watch Bleach. Don't drink bleach. Daddy K, Hubbard, terrible play. Yeah.
Yeah. Avoid the Panthers at all costs.
Yeah. And AB, Javonte is not coming back this year.
Yeah,
he's not coming back this year. They don't want to play that game with their number one running back, in a lost season, they don't want to play that game.
I'm pretty sure the return rate for ACL injuries is 0. Like the same season.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I'm pretty sure the return rate is 0. Torn ACL equals.
Look at what happened with J.K. Dobbins. Look at what happened with Gus Edwards. I mean, it takes a while.
Yeah, takes a while.
JP, doesn't have to be the last question. You're projected to win by 1 point, and you said we shouldn't play. You should not play Samuel. Should you drop Samuel for Drake London or Rashad Bateman? For Rashad Bateman, absolutely.
Yeah, why are those guys available?
I would. I want Rashad Bateman on my. Even if he's not playing, I want Rashad Bateman.
Without question, pick up Bateman.
Yep.
Without question, pick up Bateman.
And then see if you can trade Bateman for Keenan Allen. I mean, I don't think Samuel gets it done for a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
So still try to make the Allen trade, but at the very least, pick up Rashad Bateman, and that's a win for you.
Mm-hmm.
Drew D, pick 2. Pierce, Chubb, Mixon.
Oof.
Pearson, Chubb. Pearson, Chubb. I like Mixon, but he is... Right now, he hasn't been performing like the other two. Tough decision to make. I want to start all 3, but if I have to choose, the first 2.
I mean, Mixon's been pretty good at home. Actually, the Bengals have only played 2 home games this year. They played 4 road games. That's a pretty wild balance. But in his 2 home games, 27 carries for 82 yards, 9 targets, 7 catches, 63 yards. So he got 34 touches. That was way back in week 1, but still it happened. And then week 4 at home against Miami, the only other home game the Bengals have played this year, 24 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown, 4 catches on 4 targets for 13 yards. So in his 2 home games this year, Joe Mixon has received 34 and 28 touches respectively, 140 total yards one week, about almost 90 and a touchdown the other week. It's damn hard to start. This is a tough call. Who's your flex? Do you have to?
Yeah, I want to play Mixon if it's pick 3, if you have the choice. But if it's pick 2, I'm choosing the guys that have performed better on the year. Pierce and Chubb for me.
Chubb has performed better all year. Pierce has performed better of late. Has he performed?
He's the RB14 on the year after a slow start where he didn't get the start week 1 and week 2, and then in week 3 he started booming, and now he's the RB14. Whereas Mixon has had starting because he's Mixon, and he's the RB16. So I'm going Pierce. Right. Chubb and Pierce.
It's tough. That's not as clear cut of a call for me.
I want to start all 3. So, yeah. But if I have to choose.
Chubb has to be in, and then Pierce has been on fire recently. So,
Styles, start 2: Ayuk, Myers, Bateman, Pierce.
Bateman,
Ayuk, and if Bateman's not playing, Myers.
Bateman is in. He's active.
Bateman is in. Right, you just said that. My bad.
Bateman's in. Myers has some PPR upside. Pierce does too at this point. I don't want to totally dismiss Pierce, but Ayuk's going against the Chiefs, so that's enticing from a matchup perspective. Bateman is an upside play who I think I would go with because he's active, and the Browns give up tons of points on defense. Ayuk is I think a play it safe play. Myers might have some PPR upside. These are some good options to have. I guess I would slightly lean Ayuk over Myers just because he's a little bit more of a talent level tier break. I guess I would go Ayuk.
Yep. Joe Fallon, Stas, Van Jefferson or Jameson Williams, pick 1 non-PPR. Jameson Williams, I don't think anything's coming to help the Rams offense right now. You look at the reasons why Allen Robinson isn't firing. They're not able to sustain protection in the pocket from Matt Stafford to allow things to develop downfield. Jameson Williams could come in and make DJ Chark, who's already on IR, irrelevant rest of season, even if he comes back. Better offense right now, Jameson. Better talent, Jameson.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I will say this. Van Jefferson, there was an update that he's expected back after the bye week this week. Williams is not ready to come up the NFI list last I saw. So Van is closer to a return. I'll just throw that out there.
I'm shooting for the better talent, higher upside play in Jameson.
Yeah, it's just I think he's farther away as far as availability.
Yes, I'll agree. Agree with that.
If you need a guy sooner to take a shot on, then Van. If you're 6-0 or 5-1 and you could wait, then JMO.
JP, thank you. Much appreciated, man. Thanks for the compliment. Stack Attack, Khalil Herbert or DJ Moore, bench stash only or bye week filler, most upside rest of season.
I mean, Moore.
DJ Moore has the most upside, but if anything happened to Montgomery, then Herbert's a borderline RB1, high-end RB2.
Yeah, and Herbert's got a bit. It's low end, especially this week, but he does have some standalone value. Moore is a bench stash right now, but he is a bench stash. He's not a drop. There's a difference.
All else even, I'm keeping the running back with starting potential should an injury happen over the wide receiver that you haven't been able to play all year. I do think there are better days for DJ Moore ahead.
Yeah.
But I think rest of season, most upside, it's Khalil Herbert in case of a Montgomery injury, which has already happened this year. And when that happened, Herbert was an RB1 for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I mean, Brandon Cooks has been on the block for like the past year. That's not been a
I
secret.
did see this, Nemo. NBC Sports Edge said that he's what's it called? He's on the block. Nico Collins is playing well. They expect John Mechie back next year. Cooks probably doesn't fit in their long-term plans. It makes sense. There are contenders that are wide receiver needy out there. It would make sense for Cooks to get moved at the deadline. And it would make sense for the Texans to be trying to push a rebuild with the situation right now because Davis Mills ain't it. And if you can stash Nico Collins on the potential that he steps into a wide receiver 1 role for the rest of this year, if you can find space right now, it's not a bad flyer. And Damon Luce got a solid squad. Very good, Damon. Solid. Very good. I mean, from this group, you're clearly sitting Ramondre and Patterson. From this group, you're clearly sitting McLaurin, DJ Moore. Yeah, I mean, Barkley's in. Kamara's already played. Swift is out. I think Pierce needs to be in. Chase should be in. And put Amon-Ra in and let Waddle sit because he's on the injury report. Like, it's really good options. That's really good. But I would say try to trade a couple of these pieces for, like, you already have Saquon. You already have Chase. Screw it. I mean, offer Waddle and Ramondre for Diggs. Like, I don't know. Keep making more trades. Keep improving that squad. Make more moves. Yep. Make more moves. Yep, money moves. Greg Z, Bateman or Gallup look to be options for your flex, or should you still stick with Travis Etienne? I would stick with Etienne. Yep. I would stick with Etienne. Bateman could be starting, but could be on somewhat of a pitch count. And I like the floor that Travis Etienne gives you, and the ceiling that Etienne and Gallup present are basically the same. So, Etienne. Big Birds, Dubs, Pickens, Pacheco, Ayuk, McLaurin, pick 2, half PPR. Ayuk. The first Pickens, I think, is a good upside play. And then I think, if you could use some upside, I would want to play Pickens, and then it's between Ayuk or Dubs. Dubs has a good matchup, but Watkins is back. Ayuk also has a great matchup, but they added Christian McCaffrey. It's Ayuk. I think it's Ayuk, but maybe it's recency bias because I just saw him catch 2 touchdowns and get 12 targets. But he's shown that upside now. So I know you don't necessarily want to chase last week's points, but I think I'm going Pickens Ayuk. I like Dubs, but just Ayuk edges him out just a little bit because I like the talent Ayuk presents a little bit more than Dubs. Yeah. Pickens and Ayuk. Joe Fahey, half PPR, pick 2. Gallup, Duvernay, Robert Woods. Gallup and Woods. Yeah. Rashad Bateman's playing, so no Duvernay. Yep. It's hard to trust Duvernay. He has come through on like 3 touches before, but like, can he keep that up? I don't know.
I'm not betting on insane efficiency like that. Even though
Yeah.
even though Lamar Jackson can do that with his wideouts, I just not doing that. And I think we already got this question, Daddy K. Start Jamal Williams.
Yeah. Start Williams over ETN. And if you're leaning that way, go that way.
Tyler Lowe, Antonio Gibson, Latavius Murray, Nyheim Hines, or Tyler Algier. Pick one. This is ugly.
Yeah.
I'm not playing Gibson with Heineke. I'm not playing Latavius Murray. I think it's Algier, but I'm not. He's not a ceiling play, but I think it's Algier.
Let me just double check. I just want to double check his snaps. I'm pretty sure it's correct when I say that Algier's been receiving like 55-60% of the snaps recently. 57% of the snaps week 6, 59% week 5. It was only at 44% week 4, but that was when Cordero Patterson went down. So since then, Algier has been the dude to lead the backfield in an offense that at the end of the day really wants to run the ball. So of these options, sure. Yeah, Algier. Tyler, I would go with Algier.
And you got a kicker question.
Maher.
I think I go Maher now that he's got Dak back, but
yeah, I like Maher's been rock solid, Nemo. I think at home against the Lions in a game where you can expect points to be scored. You just mentioned, John, that Dak is back, so the Dallas offense should move a little bit better on a drive-by-drive basis. I would go Maher, and he's just kicking well. I mean, go look at his recent performances. He didn't have a great game against Philly, but Philly's defense shut Cooper Rush down, and he still kicked a 50-yard field goal, Maher did. So, yeah, I'll go Maher.
And Tyquan Thornton, Devin Duvernay, or Marvin Jones full PPR.
Oof.
Call me crazy, man. I'm going back to the Thornton well. It would be Duvernay if Rashad Bateman wasn't playing, but he is. And I like the fact that Thornton is getting rushing work and receiving work. 5 targets, 3 rushes, insane efficiency, scored a touchdown receiving and rushing last week. Not expecting that to happen every week, but they certainly want to utilize him like Curtis Samuel, mini Debo, or at least that's what they showed in his second week playing. I'm going Thornton. And I'm not still hating on Alec Pierce. He's had 3 back-to-back good weeks, I'm willing to concede that I was wrong on Alec Pierce. I don't think he's a superstar, but he's a solid wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
Who do you go at Duvernay, Thornton, and Jones?
I guess Thornton. Duvernay is like a ceiling, not ceiling, excuse me, like a swing for the fences, hope for the big play on maybe 5 targets. And the Browns do give up lots of points. I will say that. The Browns give up lots of points. They might be the most overrated defense in the NFL relative to expectations. They give up so many points. So there is that narrative. Now, but Bateman is back, so it's a little harder to trust him. Marvin Jones just coming back from an injury. He is off the injury report. It's a tough matchup by the numbers against the Giants. So I'm fine with Thornton, but remember, he did fire with Bailey Zappi. I don't know that he's going to do the same with Mac Jones. And yes, you have to give Mac Jones the benefit of the doubt. It is a quarterback upgrade going back to their starter, but Bailey Zappi played very well. We can't take that away from him in his 2 starts. So Thornton should be fine. I would actually say swing for the fences on Duvernay if I felt better about the fact that I just don't think he's going to get more than 5 looks.
That's where it's at. He's been making his hay off of 3 and 4 reception games and scoring a touchdown on him. That efficiency
He can do.
Yeah,
but
he's shown it. I'm not betting on that efficiency.
It's hard to trust that to come to it's hard to trust that he continues to deliver with such few opportunities. But credit to Duvernay. He's definitely he's a nice playmaker. There's no doubt.
And Dice 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12.
Nice.
Josh Reynolds is the floor play. Gallup is the ceiling play, and I would bench Sutton, but I would, if depending on what you need, play
And,
Reynolds floor, Gallup ceiling.
and Dice, Wilson's not playing. He's out. Russ is out today. So
Yes.
it's Brett Ripien.
That's why I'm not trusting Sutton.
Yeah. I do like Gallup, but I think I would actually maybe go Reynolds here just because he has been the more consistent guy.
He's been more consistent. He's the floor play.
Gallup is at home. Gallup's at home with gets his quarterback back. Gallup's
Ceiling,
a little bit more
first
of an
floor.
upside play.
It's depends on what you need.
Yeah. Both are viable options, but yeah, Gallup for some upside, Reynolds for a floor.
AB, I am going Michael Carter.
Oof. Yeah, I guess so.
I'm going Michael Carter. He's shown 2 touchdown upside, and the team hasn't flip flopped running backs every week, and I don't know. It seems like it's Mostert's job, and I'm not hype on Edmonds, but so Michael Carter. And this is a tough one. Start 2: Chuba, Chase Edmonds, Antonio Gibson, and Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco, and I guess in this situation, Chase.
Edmonds.
Because I don't know what to expect from Hubbard, and Gibson's kind of completely off my radar right now.
Gibson's fallen out of favor with the coaching staff. He's impossible to trust right now.
And bad quarterback. So yeah, Pacheco and Edmonds, but I'm not feeling too hot about either options.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier,
might as well go with the upside of Pacheco. Might as well.
Yep.
Of those. Yep.
Xavier, do you think Akers will get traded or at least?
I think he's going to get cut. I don't think he has it. I mean,
I don't know.
They're not going to have to incur a huge cap hit, right? Because he's a second round rookie second round pick formerly playing on his rookie deal. And what do you trade for him right now? Like,
nobody's given up much for him.
I think he's going to get cut. They're just holding out hope that they can find somebody in the event of a potential injury to give them a 6th round pick. Yeah, that's where we're at.
And I don't think DJ Moore is getting traded. They just gave him a 4-year extension, and the coaching staff has come out and said that he's a building block for him. And Gibson, I mean,
I don't think
he gets traded either. Because then they're back in the situation where they have Brian Robinson and nobody else. J.D. McKissick's 29 years old. He's 29 years old. And I think Gibson's taken his role. So I think Gibson's the new J.D. McKissick. So I don't think either of those guys get traded. And also, is it worth making a trade for Claypool with the recent trade buzz?
No, because he's coming off a really good game, so someone's going to ask for more than he's worth.
Yep. Agreed. Alec Pierce or Wan'Dale Robinson rest of season?
Pierce. Pierce, I guess. But, I mean, both look like good stashes, but Pierce.
Pierce is
a little more consistent.
the 6'3" guy. Wan'Dale, again, I'm not a huge fan of 5'7", 5'8" wide receivers. But good job that he did what he did last week. Got a touchdown on minimal work. But Alec Pierce has a string of 3 good games, so Alec Pierce. And AB, James Cook is not a hold.
No, he's
not a hold. If you're in a keeper league, so I guess he's somewhat a little bit more of a hold than in a redraft, because he is a 2nd round pick and Devin Singletary is in a contract year. But if you're trying to win this year, there's no reason to continue to hold James Cook. If you're 1-5, then fine. If you're anything else than 1-5 or 0-6, then he is not a hold.
Right.
Because you should be trying to compete every week.
Yep.
What's going on, Daniel? Who should you start from the Ravens? Huh?
Sorry, I was just gonna say I do think Cook is ahead of Zach Moss ahead of the depth chart now, though, for whatever that's worth. For whatever that's worth. Sorry.
He is. Yeah. He is. But should anything happen to Devin Singletary, it'll still be an ugly 2-headed monster there.
Where Moss gets more work. Yeah.
Yep. Who should you start from the Ravens backs this week? Drake.
Ride the hot hand. Gus Edwards can't be trusted. Justice Hill. What do you have? One solid
Justice
week
Hill.
this year?
No, he didn't have one. He didn't even have one solid week. He just ended up getting more work than everybody else, and everybody assumes that had a great week. Justice Hill didn't even have a good week.
6 carries, 60 yards. I mean, that's good efficiency. But
good efficiency, but I'm not chasing that. I'm not chasing that.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes those efficiency, the efficiency metrics with those lesser known running backs come just because the opposing defense doesn't think they're going to run with that guy either. You know what I mean?
They're all this guy sucks. They're pointing at him. This guy stinks, and then he gashes them for 10 yards a pop.
So no, I'm not expecting much from Gus. It's a wait and see situation.
Oh, we gotta take DeAndre Swift out of our zombie league lineup. I'm gonna do that right now.
Do it. Xavier, that ain't Duvernay's fault. It's not Duvernay's fault, but I also am not gonna chase efficiency like that. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Damon Lewis just offered Waddle and Ramondre for Diggs, and he rejected it right away. So try a different player, man. But still, keep trying.
I like the aggressiveness. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, go after Devontae, go after Cup, go after the big guys, and see if you can get something.
Keep firing.
Yep.
See if something sticks. Did we get to Eric's question about Gus Edwards' expectations today?
We answered it with the Ravens backfields.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Sorry. Got it. Yeah. Got it.
And yeah, this Ravens passing attack outside of Mark Andrews has been hard to trust. But again, man, I'm not chasing that efficiency.
Yeah.
Unless I absolutely have to. Joe Fallon, should I play Denver defense? You're playing Breece Hall in your RB2 spot. You're able to pick up Cincinnati and the New York Jets defense. I think we recommended out of those defenses playing Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't like that option either, where I have to go where I'm playing a defense against a guy that I'm planning to rely on in a big way in Breece. I'm going to assume the Dolphins and Jets are not available. And I don't want to play the Giants on the road.
Yeah.
So I guess Denver, but I understand not feeling great about it because you're also firing up Breece, but maybe hope that they can get to Zach Wilson, cause some sacks and turnovers.
And Styles, I'm not trying to trade for Najee. I'm shooting a little higher than that. I know if you're packaging CEH and Myers, you're probably not going to get much, but honestly,
that's not a bad low ball offer for Najee.
It's not a bad low ball offer, but Myers has shown more upside in his own right than Najee has on the year.
Yeah.
I think I want to just hold pat, because what if the Isaiah Pacheco experiment doesn't work and they go back to CEH in 2 weeks?
Or you still have a valuable depth piece in Clyde.
I would stay pat, even though on paper that looks like a solid move.
Yeah.
And all the Jays.
All the Jays.
I'm going Mike Williams and Metcalf.
Yeah, when you have really good options like those two, let's wait a week on Bateman.
Well, no baseball talking here. Callum Roger.
But yes, Phillies in 5. Let's go.
Nope.
We're wrapping it up today.
Pick 2, Mike Williams, Lockett, ETN, or Kirk. Mike Williams and ETN.
Yup. Lockett, questionable, hasn't practiced all week, expected to play, but and Kirk has not been that good the past few weeks, and it's a bad matchup by the numbers against the Giants.
New Jerusalem, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And Will, what do you think the reason is we're seeing more NFL trades at the deadline? Because everybody's finally realizing that the cap is fake. NFL teams are realizing that the cap is fake. So they're willing to, they can make more moves like this. And because GMs are getting younger, and they probably played fantasy football when they were kids. So I think it's a two-pronged situation there.
I think it's just a mindset shift with the NFL, right? It used to be the most rigid league. The trade deadline was always a non-existent thing. Because it was early. The big thing is they pushed the trade deadline back. I think it used to be like week 6. Now it's week 8. So you have a couple of extra weeks of evaluation with your team. And 2, yeah, GMs and organizations in general are more open than ever to what the NBA does, what the MLB does. And when bad teams identify that they're bad, they don't plod through a 4-13 season for the sake of keeping their better aging players. They're identifying the writing on the wall as it pertains to their own situation and reacting to it. And it took them a while to get to that point because, again, the NFL was previously an old curmudgeon, league where it's like, we're going to go out and compete every week no matter what. GMs became, situations changed. Teams became more forward thinking. They got out of the.
I think it's everything.
Mindset.
I think it's everything involved. The trade deadline being pushed back, GMs
it's
getting
awesome.
younger. It's everything. Cap is fake. I think it's everything.
It's awesome.
It is. Love to see it. Love to see it. Makes for a more interesting fantasy season and NFL season. All told.
Yeah.
And Damon Loose, if you can get it done,
sure.
Try it.
Yeah,
just shoot your shot at the best guys. Shoot your shot.
Yep, shoot your shot.
Zach D, Godwin.
Man, you have to start one. You can only play one. Zach, you can't play both of them. But I guess jeez. Yeah, Zach, who are your other receivers? Before I definitively say Godwin, Zach, who are your other receivers? I just want to know.
But to your other question down below, Zach, Kittle over Njoku this week.
Kittle over Njoku. Ride the tight end one, or the guy you drafted to be your tight end one originally, who came back to life last week.
Cali Loco, Swift is out, so you picked up Nico Collins for the flex. Solid. Should you pick up Craig Reynolds? No. Should you drop Perrine? No.
Might as well hold.
And you're solid at running back right now, considering it is a bye week and you're dealing with an injury. So
yeah.
JW, do we have any Keenan Allen news yet?
He's a game time call, so we're not going to know until the 4:00 windows. So if you have Keenan Allen and you're hoping to play him, just have a viable option for either the 4:00 slate or later.
Yep.
Include Sunday night or Monday night. Just have a backup plan ready to go.
And Mike, I hope you have fun in Germany. If you have time, hit up Iron and shoot over to Austria.
Yeah, there you go. We have so many members that traveled this year.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, Alex was in Europe earlier, and enjoy Germany, man.
Somebody was in I think it was somebody was in Korea. I forget who. We have some well-traveled people on this channel.
Joe, if you need a wide receiver, okay, but if you don't need a wide receiver, I'm not making either of those deals.
Yeah, I'm not. Only if I'm somewhat desperate for a wide receiver. That's great running back depth, and both of those guys look awesome right now. I'm not trying to trade Hall or Walker.
And Keegan, the answer is Ramondre, even with Damian Harris coming back.
Man, yeah.
At this point, it is. It just is what it is. Brock Goose, you dropping Rashad White to start a defense? I mean, you're on a lesser team who's got bye week Eagles starting.
He's against a lesser team, so you feel like you're a good favorite. And they didn't pick up a defense. I mean, if you're looking if they're playing a roster spot down, if you think you can get away with it, then I'm holding Rashad White.
But keep an eye on it because there's still 45 minutes before the game starts, so keep an eye on it.
Yeah, definitely play to win. 4-2 is great. It might not be tops in the league. That being said, I do want to find a way to keep Rashad White. I will maintain, I think he still is one of the best insurance policies at the running back position, outside of, say, a Tony Pollard or a whatever Patriots back stays healthy, I guess.
Yep. Got to Zach D's question. AB, there's got to be more higher upside guys than Hines and A-Rob. Better lottery ticket options. I'd take both of those guys over James Cook right now, but I guess A-Rob over Hines.
Yeah.
But there's got to be is there a dart throw that you like that has a little bit more upside than this? There's no Pacheco. There's no somebody equitable to that.
Yeah.
Because A-Rob really doesn't present that much upside. He's really just a name. But I'm fine with dropping James Cook. Avery, Mooney Bateman or Josh Reynolds as your flex, full PPR. Reynolds.
Reynolds is a safe play, Avery.
Yep.
Bateman is a ceiling play with a little bit of downside with his first game back, coming back from injury. But he has a great matchup. The Browns are giving up lots of points on defense.
But I think I would just go with the safe play in Reynolds because he also does have upside in his own right, given the target vacuum in this offense right now. Mm-hmm. Got a defense question: Atlanta or Jacksonville? DST.
Of those options, I guess Jacksonville, Cali, just because they're home. I don't want to play Atlanta on the road against Burrow.
I don't want to play Atlanta ever. I'm fine with Jacksonville.
I guess if those are your two options, then Jacksonville. I'll assume the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Jets might all be scooped.
And Damon Lewis, best of luck. Hope something happens. Hope it works out for you. Joller, good to see you. Matt Ryan or Jared Goff?
Ryan? Goff's been bad on the road.
And Ryan's starting to heat up a little bit. Ryan.
I guess Ryan. He gets Taylor back. Offense might move a little bit better. Yeah, it seems to maybe they're putting things together a little bit on offense.
Yep.
Goff is missing Swift. Ryan gets Taylor back.
I'm playing Ryan.
I'll go Ryan.
And Daniel, I'm going Kenyon Drake out of those options.
Yeah, no problem with the help. Like I guess with at
Drake
least
just showed
Browns.
Upside, and Latavius Murray had the entire role to himself and didn't show all that much upside.
Yeah.
And Craig Reynolds and Algier are floor plays.
And at least Browns gave up a lot of points.
Drake.
So yeah,
roll with Drake. Zach D, Waddle and Chase are your others.
Okay.
I'm going Godwin.
Yeah, I guess Godwin. Man, I don't want to sit Mike Evans.
I don't want to sit Mike Evans either, but Godwin's better bet.
Yeah, PPR. I guess so. We do have to keep in mind. The Bucs could blow the Panthers out today. So these guys might not get a ton of there's a potential for game script to be totally against both of these guys in the guts of the game halfway through the third quarter or so.
But in PPR, I'm going with the guy that's getting more receptions than just a long bomb touchdown.
Yeah, I guess.
Luka pick 2, Pacheco, CMC, Jeff Wilson. The last two, CMC and Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, play your 49ers. McCaffrey,
lock it down.
You're playing McCaffrey because it's Christian McCaffrey, and then Jeff Wilson. If there's any more weeks where he's viable, it's going to be this one as McCaffrey still gets acclimated into the playbook and offense.
And Riley, we have a bunch of home leagues, and some of them are members of the channel.
Yeah,
so we got a few watchers.
A couple of them watch, a couple of them don't. We got a few.
And AB, you were over in Korea. AB was over in Korea. Alex was in Europe at some point early in the off season. Yeah, we got an international audience. I like it.
Well-traveled people.
Yep.
Like to see it.
And Brock Goose got one more for us. Second flex, full PPR, Ramondre or Kenneth Walker. It's Kenneth Walker, bro. Kenneth Walker. Easy.
He looks great. That matchup is beautiful by the numbers.
No running mate. Walker. Yo, what's going on, Iron? Good to see you.
What's happening, Iron?
The answer is Jamal Williams.
Yeah, go with the guy with the expected RB1 workload.
2 touchdown upside. Jamal. And Nathan Roberts, Montgomery or Christian Kirk at the flex in full PPR.
And if you're leaning Kirk, I think you go Kirk.
The higher upside play is Kirk. The floor play is Montgomery. PPR.
I can't seem to get behind Montgomery, and especially not in a bad matchup.
And in full PPR, you got the extra incentive to play the wide receiver. So
yeah,
Kirk, go for it.
Yeah.
AB, most of the dart throws are taken, so it looking like Sony Michel, McKissick, Boone, and Huntley. Watson, McKenzie, Zay Jones, Sky Moore, Nico Collins. Nico Collins. And if you need a running back, I think Josh Kelly just is out. So Sony Michel is a solid number 2 running back. But I think I'd go Nico
Collins. Yep. Yeah, 140 or so receiving yards to total the past 2 weeks combined prior to the bye week. He's getting more involved, and there's rumors that Brandon Cooks might be on the move before the deadline next week. So take a shot on that happening and stash Nico over James Cook.
Yep. Eric Espino, half PPR, start CMC.
McCaffrey.
Just do it. Everybody,
Easy
just start
call.
your CMCs.
Easy call.
And Lost Prefect. Samuel. because at least they might still use him on the ground, and he has a little bit of versatility. This isn't a high upside play, but neither are Samuel.
Are these two different leagues? I guess they're two different leagues. You can't play London and Dubs. This must be two different situations.
Yeah, if it's the choice between all four, it's the last two. But if you have to choose between Samuel and Judy, it's Samuel for me. And if you have to choose between Drake London and Romeo Dubs, it's real close, but it's Dubs. Yeah, it's Dubs. But good luck, man. Yeah. Expert. I don't know how to. Experts.
I don't know.
Kittle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Over Dylan.
Yep.
I guess in that matchup.
Dylan hasn't been firing. To your point,
yeah.
Aaron Jones is going to get more run today.
We think.
According to Aaron Rodgers.
That's what he wants. We'll see if they actually execute on it.
Kittle. And Damon Luce, yeah, just any top 8 wide receiver right now, shoot that shot.
Well, Waddle has been top 8.
Okay, well, any top 6 then. Any bona fide wide receiver.
No, I don't know if I would do that for Debo. I'm asking for Kupp. I'm asking for Diggs. I'm asking for Justin Jefferson. If I have to up it to Waddle and
well, then I'm still trying to get Debo, but Ramondre and who else can you do? And then Ramondre and a lesser.
Yeah. Not that there's a lot of lessers on that team, but
it's Ramondre and McLaurin. Ramondre and
yeah, I don't know. If you can't swing for one of the top options, then maybe just wait a week. You might have to eat a good performance on your bench, but that's okay. You have a good problem to have because you have a good squad.
Yeah, and if the elite options don't work, package Ramondre and McLaurin and see what you can get. And get an upgrade there.
Sure.
But I'm all for making trades and just getting better. Zach D, thoughts on Dameon Pierce touchdown? Hey, solid bet.
Should be fine
He's
against
an
the
RB1.
Raiders. They want to give him the ball 20 times. He's been delivering when they give him the ball.
He's most people's RB2, so you got him in the flex, so you're playing at an advantage.
Feel good about his chances.
Yep. And Daniel, what defense would be the best to start? Broncos, Dolphins, or Jags?
Pick up the Dolphins at home. They're playing pretty well at home by their recent track record. The Steelers are nothing scary on offense. Rookie quarterback, bad offensive line. Give me the Dolphins.
And Carr or Lawrence? Carr.
Yeah. Not as tough of a matchup against Houston. Yep.
And Styles, look, your backup RB is CEH. He's might not be the starter, but his role should be kind of the same because we both expect Isaiah Pacheco to eat into McKinnon's role, not really CEH. So he's not the starter, but I'm not trading CEH and Myers for Brian Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Brian Robinson and CEH have are pretty close, and then you're just throwing away Myers for a different RB. So sometimes the best thing to do is just to stay pat, and I think you stay pat here. But if we have any more questions, let us know. Throw them in the chat. But we are at the end of the chat here.
About a half hour before the slate begins. We gotta go set our
new
lineups,
news has come out about anybody of note. But hey, everybody, thanks for chilling with us. Thanks for the super from who was that? Mr. Crowler, if you're still in here.
Gave us a super, so appreciate that.
Thank you for any subs that sub today. Iron can't wait for Red
Zone.
Zone.
Got a bunch of subs
I can't
today,
either.
So thank you.
Damon, no. I wouldn't drop Nico or pick up Nico for McLaurin or DJ Moore. I'm still holding those other two options. But yeah, everybody have a good luck today. KJ Hamler trade rumors. Don't tell Nick.
You can go to the Packers and be wide receiver 1. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm not putting a ton of stock into that one.
Yeah.
Let's see how the trade deadline unfolds, but should be fun. Any last minute questions, you can throw them in our Discord. Third link in the description of this video. Evergreen invite. We will try to get to those before the slate. Otherwise, yeah, thanks everybody for the engagement today. I don't know if I'm grabbing
Nathan,
Johnson.
yeah, I'm not really expecting any movement there.
I think they're going to keep Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt seems to be somebody that the Browns expect to trade. I don't think that's going to happen.
And yeah, they're still in the hunt with Deshaun Watson coming back soon. I think they want all the best players.
They keep their pieces.
And I'm not starting Melvin Gordon if I don't have to.
Unless I have no other options, but I think you gotta try to avoid playing Gordon today. That Broncos backfield is unpredictable.
But thank you everybody for all your questions. I hope we helped you out. I hope we steered you in the right direction. Good luck this week, and we will see you on Tuesday for the